Hey everybody, and welcome to Wither and Bloom Studios. We are here to play Daggerheart tonight. You guys ready?
Yeah!
I am so excited, and I loved last session. I thought it went really well. I really enjoyed playing. I got a few announcements to start off with, so maybe we'll go there first. So first of all, in our Discord, we have some Discord predictions for tonight. If you watched last week's stream, you were able to go into Discord and make predictions about who would roll the first crit and who would make the first death move, and you could vote on those things. And if you're right, you will win either a boon or a bane that you can spend. So who won last week, Rich?
So last week, Oa and Cersei both won in the Discord, so thank you for that. And it's interesting because Cersei has a bane and Oa has a boon. So there are two people in the chat tonight that can inflict damage on this game.
Did they get to choose
Yes.
Boon versus Bane?
Boon or bane.
So Cersei to have a Bane.
Yes.
I know. So,
If you win tonight, somebody will reach out to you and ask you, do you want a boon or a bane? We will make a note of that. And then at some point during gameplay, you get to spend that. So you can decide if one of the players is automatically going to crit on a roll, or if I'm going to crit on a roll, or whatever the case may be. So
you get like a secret little password that you type in the YouTube chat, and that activates it pretty much. So they have their passwords. They know when to use it.
Oh, okay. You've taken care of that.
I've taken care of it.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. Good to know. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Let's see. The Clockwork Silence module that I have been touting so heavily for so long that is supposed to be ready by next week has me stressed to the absolute freaking hilt. And I have been making art around the clock. Some of you that have been in the Discord have seen some little hints of that.
Let me just say I saw this on Sunday, a lot of it laid out in process. It is gorgeous. It's tactile, it's beautiful. Todd is a phenomenal
You
artist.
could just
and
keep
you all
this
want
story
this.
going a little bit and, extend your time.
That's kind of an interesting thought, Garrett. I frankly didn't expect that. Maybe.
Perhaps.
If that doesn't happen, if we do conclude session 3 next week like we were supposed to, I will say this. Best case scenario, or worst case scenario, I will have something for you. I will either have a very solid sneak peek for all of you to see in lieu of it not being totally ready. And I'm just trying to put this out there so it's a fair warning. I want it to be robust. I want it to be fully filled out. So bear with me. I'll have something for you. Let's see. What else do we have? We, one of our community members, Bun Riri in Discord, reached out to us in one of the general chats and promoted a Kickstarter campaign for something called Incredible Creatures. Now, Incredible Creatures is basically a dual-sided project. It is a book of adversaries for Daggerheart with some awesome art in it, and it also is cards. It'll be offered in different support levels, from just the purely digital to physical. We're going to put a link to that in the video description for tonight. It might not be there yet, but it will be there by the morning, so definitely go and check that out and see if you can support that on Kickstarter. It looks really cool. I am definitely going to get one of these sets. And I think that might be it for the announcements. Do you guys have any announcements? Anybody need to say anything?
Get anything off your chest.
Anybody want to get anything off their chest?
You're all lucky I had therapy today. I don't need to get anything else off my chest.
I'm excited.
I am too.
Let's do it.
Well, I would then say this. I would like to invite all of you, and I think this is a good practice to get into as a GM and as a group of players. But I just want you all to take a moment and settle into this game. Like, I want you to sort of let go of your day. I want you to let go of work. I want you to sort of like feel the weight of your body in your chair and realize that your feet are no longer on the ground in the world you know. You are now transported to Vesper.
Namaste, motherfucker.
Exactly. It is kind of a meditative practice. But I kind of want you to sort of lock in. I want you to sort of experience the world that we are about to engage in. I mean, I think that's pretty fair, right?
Do you want to throw some senses at us? What are we smelling? What are we hearing?
Well, how about
some senses.
I'll pull that into the recap. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. Because, well, no. Actually, I'll introduce with that. I think that's a good idea. Amicora, the port city of Vesper, which is where all of you are from, is completely filled with the sounds of the sea, the birds, the lapping of the waves against the ships that come in and out of the port all day long. You also hear the shouts and cries of merchants from the street, selling their wares from all over the world of Vesper. Ships regularly come in from the far-off continents of Lichés and Afari, and so the wares from those places are highly sought after and often sold in bulk. It's a great place to go and find things you would not otherwise find on the continent of Emberfell. The air smells rich with both the catches of the sea, the different smells of smokes and forges that are burning in the Tinkerer's Ward sort of waft out into the air, and also spices and exotic perfumes that people wear when they get off these ships visiting Emberfell for the first time. So you have a real, like, sort of cornucopia for the senses, if that's okay. Now, let's recap what happened in session 1. Aurora Flux, the well-known Amicora Tinkerer, who is also a clank, has disappeared. She is notorious for some of her unbelievable inventions, and as clanks go, she is one of the more brilliant ones in the city. She was prepared to show off her latest invention called the Veritas engine at the sort of yearly symposium where all of the tinkerers show off their machines in Symposium Hall. 2 days before that was supposed to happen, Aurora disappears. Now, you have been brought together by Nala Vintlock, who is the head of the Tinkerers Guild, and she knows each of you individually for a variety of reasons and thought you would be a great choice as a party to come together, research, and find out what happened to Aurora Flux. Now, if that were not enough, there is a hum that is emanating from Aurora's workshop, a hum that is rather disturbing and loud. And it is disturbing the citizens of Amicora outright. They are nervous. There are regularly explosions in Tinker's Ward, things that go wrong because ambitions sometimes exceed what the technology is capable of in the day. You took this upon yourselves and started an investigation right off the bat. She said you'd be well paid, and you went right to work. As you explored the city, talked to a couple of NPCs, you did find out little tidbits of information about what might have happened that night. And on your way that evening to Aurora's workshop, you encountered 4 strange creatures that you immediately launched into a combat session with. They're known as Slinth. They are sort of augmented sewer rats that are supposedly the invention of a rogue inventor who was banished from the Tinker's Ward named Revrax the Muzzle. Revrax sort of controls these things, and apparently they were slinking about in the Tinker's Guild in Tinker's Ward when you came up looking. You dispatched 2 of them, took their weapons, and then the other 2 fled to the sewers, at which point you found yourself in front of Aurora's workshop through a really complicated electro connection that Flocutus decided to sort of try. And through Rook's climbing of the side of the building, you got entrance to the space, which has been locked tight. The hum is imminent, and inside you meet Reququum. This is Aurora's clank-augmented hare, who is the shop caretaker, and also a dear friend of Aurora's and a protector of Aurora's. You guys walked about the space, gained the trust of Reququum, and now have sort of got yourself in a position where Reququum wants to help. Flocutus, you were shown the Veritas engine by Reququum. He clearly gained some trust in you. And so you look at this device in your hands while Rook is upstairs looking about, and Valith is upstairs looking about, and you're there with Corin Vex and Sparky, and you're examining this object. And the small speaker that is on it crackles a little bit, and from it you hear a distant almost electrical voice of Aurora Flux reaching out. She's, Requiem, are you there? And that's where we ended the session. Now, I think for the sake of starting this in a coherent place, all of you have come back downstairs. Okay, you're all in one spot at this point. The two of you would be reporting in on what you found up there. So if you have, would you like me to describe it thoroughly so you know? Sure. Okay. So, Valeth, you discovered a room on the 3rd floor that seems to be some kind of mushroom growing room. There's a massive 18-foot-long table that snakes around in the shape of an L. Over the top of it, there are these antennae that seem to stick out from the walls at these like odd angles, and they almost have like branch-like tendrils that come out off of them. Some kind of strange electrical network of some sort. There is a very complicated steampunk panel with gauges, levers, buttons, and valves in it on the one side, as if it's part of a control room. And to the back, there's a doorway that moves through into another space where there's another complicated piece of equipment. This one seems more like an alcohol distillery. There are several large copper, voluminous canisters with hoses that are all connected, and they seem to be able to be heated, but you're not sure what that's all about necessarily. The mushrooms that are growing in this bed, and there's hundreds of them, are the cone of Lotusia, which is a very well-known, very rare, very valuable mushroom that is a byproduct of the mycelial network in the continent of Emberfell. So that's what you gleaned from that space before you came back downstairs. Rook, yours was a little bit more complicated. You went all the way to the 5th floor, and on the 5th floor you found another lab of sorts. This lab seems to have a very complex machine in the middle of it that is all made of copper and brass and iron. It's very round and organically shaped, and in the center there's a glass sphere. Currently that glass sphere is empty, but there also is this apparatus that comes off of this machine through a series of pipes and hoses, and there's a small, semi-round object, almost like a helmet, that connects to that. And it's hanging off the arm of a chair. The chair is sort of laid back, and it sits next to this machine, okay? Now, on the shelf to the left are these very large canisters, clear canisters, filled with a thick, black, viscous liquid. You spot this, and then realize that you've left your party downstairs, and so you take all this in as a sort of mental note, and you make your way downstairs as well.
Did that liquid look like blood?
I can't hear you.
Did the liquid look like blood?
Did the liquid look like blood?
Yeah.
No, this liquid was jet black. I mean like a deep, almost void-like black.
Okay.
So unless it was the blood of something terrifying,
Yeah.
no. So, you've gathered downstairs. Requiem is with you. What are we doing? Let's open this up with questions or conversation.
I think if Flocutus wasn't directly mid-conversation with Requiem, Sparky would like to pull him aside. You think a lot. What do you think about all of this? About these people? About the rabbit? About Aurora? What do you think?
Have some worries and thoughts. I think Aurora did it. I think she might have found a way to give herself some kind of a sentient soul. But I don't know where she is. It seems like she's... I don't know how she did it, but that was her voice that came from that box.
Yes.
The rabbit is enjoyable. I like seeing his clockworks.
Yes. He has a very big personality. I don't know. I worry. I didn't know I could do that.
I don't know that you can yet. Maybe.
Strange.
I would think that there is some kind of possibility for you to do that, for her to do that, for other people to do that. I mean, I'm halfway between that.
I think we should find Aurora.
Well, yes. I think everyone's in agreement that that's a good thing to do, not only financially, but philosophically and as general good beings.
Yes.
Where do the others get to?
I think they're still with Requiem.
Maybe we should find out more about this place.
I like that.
If I may, Valeth, one thing I left out when I told you about the mushroom space. You also were in the second floor, if I remember correctly, right? Did we go over that description?
No, we did get to the mushrooms.
The second floor is simply a living space.
Okay.
There are two couches. Both couches are sort of a bit of a train wreck. They're covered in sheets and pillows that are all crumpled, and the space is well lived in. There's a desk as well on one side of the room that's got papers stacked on it. There is a club chair that points out the window. It looks like somebody's contemplative space. There's a washroom in the back that also appears as if it's been used. There are toiletries in there on a first glance when you went through there. A towel, some soaps on the sink, a few things of that nature. And there's two rugs and a table, but that pretty much sums it up.
I might have been half asleep at the end of the session. You said in our recap that
Yeah.
Requiem wants us to help.
Yes.
Help what?
Well, I think what I said is Requiem is willing to help you
Oh, help us.
in any way he can. He's interested in getting Aurora back or finding out what's going on.
Okay.
You kind of get the sense that Requiem is a bit reserved in his lack of trust in people, which is one of the reasons that the space has been locked up for so long.
Can I just get a quick spelling on his name?
On Requiem,
Yeah.
Requuiem.
Because I definitely did not have that.
I'm gonna walk up to Flo. Hey, Flo. There's some machines on the 5th floor I think you'd be interested in checking out. I know you're good in that department.
Yes.
So maybe there's like a seat with like a helmet and like some connection wires, some brass thing, a glass heart in the middle of it. It's interesting. It's
Like an interface.
seems like some sort of interface, but like you like jack in through your head.
Oh,
I like
you must be
jacking
talking
in.
about the cathexis room.
Ah, yeah, that's exactly what I said.
Right. Right, 5th floor, right?
Yes.
Oh, interesting space.
What can you tell me about that machine?
Well, I don't know a lot because it's, her work. But
She doesn't share her work with you?
she shares some. Yes, she does.
Oh, but there's boundaries?
To some extent, yes. I fear that for all I want to know from Aurora, she sometimes seems like she's protecting me from something I'm not always necessarily privy to.
Did you hear her voice
When-
through the machine?
That was definitely her, yes.
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 Is it active? Was that her?
Yeah, did you get a
Or was that like a
response?
recording or something?
Well, that is more of a one-way transmission. So it's not the type of thing that one can speak back to. It's more of like a monitoring device on some level.
So she's alive.
I would say so, yes. which is a good sign.
That's a
I'm
good
quite
sign.
excited.
That's a very good sign.
Yes.
Yes, that works for all of us, I think.
Now,
Where did she go into that?
I'm sorry?
Did she use that machine on the 5th floor? Does
Yes.
she have a transmitter for this receiver? The Veritas engine's just a radio?
Well, not exactly. The Veritas engine, from what I understand, is its original invention. What she told me about it is that it utilizes a fusion of 3 forms of magical energy. And what it does is it's able to sense the resonance within, say, you, not me, because I don't have that resonance, but it uses the resonance in you and can tell when you're lying. In a sense, she created a truth detection device. It seems to be at rest when it is not feeling threatened by some kind of untruth. Thus the name Veritas engine. And so she creates these synthesized magical concoctions in the various labs. At least that's how I understand it.
Really quickly, were there any like little vials in the mushroom room that I would have come across in my like feeling of things?
Yes.
I would have taken like 2, unsure of what they really are because I can't see
You would have
them.
grabbed the vials?
Yeah,
Okay.
like 2 of them.
And would you just grab them and pocket them, or do you think you've looked?
I probably would have like heard if there was liquid in it and about how much.
Well, what would have? I'll kind of cue you in a
Yeah.
little bit on that. When you felt around and felt these vials there, you noticed that the lids themselves clinked a little bit, which meant to you that they were a little bit loose.
Okay.
So when you popped one off, you realized it was not full of liquid, but it was actually full of more, it was like a powder. And so I'm not sure if you would have touched the powder, but had you smelled the powder, it would have had the same sort of very earthy, almost fungal essence that you'd
Okay.
expect from such a space.
Okay, so I still would have taken like 2.
Okay, then you have 2 of them.
so, yeah, there's tons of stuff up, technology I don't comprehend up top. There was that fungus room that looked intimidating. Did you
No, it wasn't that intimidating.
find
Just
anything up there?
interesting.
Yeah?
Not really. Lots of mushrooms.
Okay.
Some tables. Some like control panels.
Okay. She's a fan of fungus, Aurora?
Well, not necessarily sure what a fan of, but she does do a lot of research around, it seems like, for example, I know that for about a period of, I don't know, maybe 3 straight weeks, she did nothing but take 2 buckets outside of Amicora, fill them with soil, and bring them back in and dump them on the floor.
Very essential.
Okay. Love that.
It's a bit of an oddball, I'd say.
Now, you said the engine is whirring.
So the Veritas engine, this device, is there's a hum, for lack of a better word. It's a deep guttural tone that isn't just sort of like a transistor radio that's buzzing in your ear.
Yeah.
It seems to penetrate all existence. It comes out deep. It moves through your body.
Now, I may not have understood you earlier, but it activates around lying.
Well, yes. So apparently, if you lie, so what he does is Requiem takes the Veritas engine and shows you the surface. There is that little speaker that you heard the voice through, but there are also several glass panels that are on the front of this, and they're long and thin. They almost seem to be partially filled with different types of liquid light, which is really strange to you. One of them is very light blue, very similar to Andira. Another one is almost pulsing with black, and the third one has the most bizarre one of all. It's almost a mirror polished silver like mercury, but it's flipping back and forth between that and a void black state. It's kind of like moving. And he kind of approaches you with it, and he's like, all right, what was your name again?
Rook.
I'm going to ask you again, but I want you to tell me something different. What was your name again?
Jerry.
and you notice as several of these indicators rise, and you hear the tonality of this thing shift from something that is almost, I'm not going to say harmonious, because it is out of whack a little bit, but it goes into something very dissonant. There's almost a tritone sound, and it makes you uncomfortable.
Interesting. Can I hold it?
Liar.
He takes it and hands it to you.
This is
I'm gonna kind
little.
of face it.
It is. It's actually about 11
I thought
inches
it
by.
was big.
No, it's about 11 inches by 6 inches. It's about that big.
So I'm gonna kind of hold it at him a little bit,
that
like he was
thing's
holding it
making
at
all
me.
this
Yes, that's the thing. Sorry.
No, I'm kind of holding it at him like he was holding it at me. I'm like, so you don't know where Aurora is?
You're asking me, or you're talking
Oh.
into
I'm asking.
it? No, of course not. I don't know where she is, and it does not react in that way. So
It's flatlining.
We got a lot of questions. We can ask.
I think the name Jerry suits you.
Well, I have a name, but thank you. It's really thoughtful.
Rook, if I may,
Yeah.
I already told you it doesn't work on me because
You're not
one
sentient.
needs to have a sort of a soul, for lack of a better word, in order to make that work.
I was hoping you wouldn't clue him in on that. Could have been fun.
Pardon me for ruining your enjoyment, but
It would have been very humorous. If I had lungs, I would laugh.
So you don't have a soul?
no. I want you to roll.
Doesn't-
I want you to roll an instinct roll for me right now.
Okay.
Oh my god.
First roll of the game. Crits! You critted? 2 ones!
Oh my god.
Double ones.
Did anybody have you for first crit?
I don't think
I don't
anyone
think so.
trusts me like
I
that,
didn't.
so no.
Crit, I don't know if crit was a bet this time.
It was a bet.
It was a bet.
I don't think anybody got that.
First crit was somebody had said Garrett
So a crit?
and
crit.
Annie and Eric. Everybody but Rich got a crit bet, and me. We didn't get crit bets.
No crit bets for you.
Don't
Double
flip
ones.
off
Y'all
our
bet I
audience.
died, though.
Don't flip off our audience. That's terrible.
We love you.
No, he was just making the international sign for 2 ones.
Oh, that's his crit. Yes. Oh, gotcha. You say to Requiem, so then you don't have a soul. And Requiem looks at you and he says, why no? And for a moment you glance at that Veritas engine and you see one little blip go up just a smidge.
So a liar.
I'm gonna kind of keep that to myself, not to let him or anyone else in on that. I saw that. Interesting. I guess you're right.
I'm really confused here. She's talking through this device. It tells lies. I don't sense his lies.
So, is it a lie detector, a communicator, or both?
Well, Sparky, that's a good question. And I definitely would not be lying to you if I told you I completely understand this thing. I don't know. I believe that Aurora has... I think Aurora's gotten herself into something that she doesn't quite fully either understand or she's not fully telling us. But I believe this device is more than we know. I'm not exactly sure why Aurora's interested in making a lie detector in the first place. It seems like a rather trivial piece of equipment to make. I mean, she's not really a fan of law enforcement, and I'm not really finding her too connected to people that she's trying to figure out if they're lying, so I don't know why she'd make such a thing in the first place. So yes, you've got me. I don't know. But I would imagine that her disappearance has something to do with whatever it is she's done.
Maybe she was going to conduct what the organics call a social experiment.
Perhaps. Yes, that could be. What would one like yourself, Sparky, call me, since I am sort of half and half? I'm neither organic or clank, but I'm just curious.
Rabbit
Rabbit.
or hare?
Excellent.
I don't know the significant difference.
Between a rabbit and a hare. I could clue you in.
Please do.
Rabbits are social creatures, hares are solitary. I tend to be a little bit more solitary. Otherwise, rabbit would be just fine.
Noted. Thank you.
Now.
Requiem,
Yes.
do you have any more hare facts?
I do, but maybe we should turn our attention to Aurora for the moment, eh?
Yes. I have a question for you. Who's sleeping upstairs on the second floor?
What do you mean?
Well, the couches, they got sheets and pillows on them.
Oh, right, yes. We occasionally have a guest or two. Obviously, Aurora and I don't require sleep, so when we have guests that do, as Sparky puts it, when the organics come over, it's a place for them to sleep.
Have you had any guests within the past 24 hours?
Oh, no, not in the past 24 hours, no. Yes.
This is for the GM.
Yeah.
Were the towels wet? Because I would have felt them.
The towels are clearly used, but they weren't wet,
Okay.
as if they had been
Like they weren't
recently
damp.
used. Yeah, they're not
Okay.
damp like they had been recently used.
Did the bar go up on that answer?
On which one?
The last one? That you didn't have a guest within the past 24 hours?
No, it didn't. Are you paying attention, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no real indicator that that was a lie.
Oh, it's just interesting. I know you guys don't sleep, and it seems, like recently slept in. So that's interesting.
Who was the last person to stay?
Oh, it's a acquaintance of Aurora that Aurora works with a couple of people on some of her experiments. Like on about a monthly basis. There's a much older woman that comes, sort of a caster of some sort. She must be. Well, forgive me for not knowing ages, but she seems a bit old, probably more than 150. What was her name? Cersei. I believe it was Cersei. Yes.
What's
So there's an old broad that stays here named Cersei.
Yes. Yes, they work upstairs in the cathexis lab.
Interesting.
I like that name.
I'm glad for you, Sparky.
Thanks.
did she have any other irregular visitors?
Occasionally, she would have other inventors over to discuss ideas, to, maybe trade parts, or to, maybe work out a problem if something wasn't, functioning, and she'd bring in someone from another area. Sometimes they'd work late into the night, and occasionally I'd get up to do my morning routine, and I'd spot some inventor that happened to crash out on the couch for the evening. So, but nothing. Cersei's expression, or I should say Cersei's schedule, was probably right about, well, that's funny. She's usually right around monthly, which would put her soon. I don't think there's a connection there, though. They seem to have quite a good relationship.
Was Cersei helping?
Yes, they had a very amicable relationship. I remember hearing a conversation once at one point, because they were working their way up to the cathexis lab, and Cersei was having a very engaged conversation with Aurora about a substance that they're working on together called triunium. Triunium.
Did you hear what that was all about?
Oh, I know what that is. So triunium, well, forgive me. Triunium is the synthesis of all three magical systems on Vesper. Aurora has been working on this for quite some time. It is basically a supercharged capsule of those 3 fused systems. And it is sort of used to power the Veritas engine. That's the power
is it
source.
like these?
Like what?
The 3 liquids on the front?
He points to the one that's silver black, and he's like, that one, right there.
The one that's flicking?
The one that's flicking back and forth between the 2 states. And with that, you hear a pounding at the door. There's just this very sort of loud, like boom, 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 knock on the door, and Requiem looks around.
I called it! No way, I called it! Hold on.
Cornhole puckered on that one. Not gonna lie.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you something? I wrote in my notes at 7:03, Nate spawns in, and I showed it to the table.
Did you hear the door?
I did after I wrote it.
I heard the door.
I knew it. I knew it.
I didn't hear it. That got me good.
Here's the proof that I wrote Nate spawns in.
Requiem.
What's up, guys?
I missed you.
I'm gonna give you a hug at break. Yes, please.
Requiem walks to the door and opens the door, and as Requiem pulls the door open, you see walk in this. Would you describe what we see, please?
You see a tall figure with these like long, wispy gray hairs, and underneath a red cloak all the way down to her feet with these nice leather boots. You in particular notice the quality of this leather. Very nice leather. You see like the wrinkled lines around her mouth. Like she's always been scowling since she was born. She lifts off her cloak and she's like, Aurora? Where's Aurora?
Oh, you haven't heard. I'm sorry, but Aurora's been sort of misplaced. She's gone missing, and this fine group of adventurers is looking to find her.
That time already?
Hello.
Okay.
What do you mean it's that time already?
Hello. Hi. Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just, I'm an associate of hers.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. What are you all doing here?
We were asked to help locate.
Aurora.
She's missing.
She's gone. I've spoken with her in the
Right.
past. A little rather sparky.
And how long has she been missing at this point?
What is it, 48 hours?
I think it's
48
2
hours.
days.
You a detective sort?
Maybe.
You seem like a detective sort.
Alright,
Got a good head on your shoulders.
thanks.
Yeah.
Asks for a lot of facts.
That's good. I like facts. I'm a big fan of facts. It's
So
actually
you're the one
how I got
where-
myself here.
Where do you sleep when you're away?
I'm given a place.
What's that
Nice
place?
bed
Which bed?
upstairs.
What's for?
Oh my god.
You know,
Interesting.
I'm taking. Usually, I don't have to walk up the stairs.
Are you like
Second.
going nuts? Are you going nuts, scribbling down notes? And again,
Try to
really obvious.
checking the Veritas engine.
Look, I'm sure you don't think I need an alibi.
No, you're okay right now.
I'm okay?
but, yeah.
Well, Requiem was just telling us that you've been working
Yes.
with Aurora.
I come monthly. We have a trade deal of sorts. I have a very particular set of skills, which she requires for her work. I'm sure you've heard about this triunium.
Yeah.
Just now.
It's right. It's right here.
Very, very, very interesting magical source. You know, it becomes much easier to manufacture in about 600 years.
What?
It's incredible.
How would you
It's incredible.
know?
But right now, you need somebody as powerful as myself. And I will show you I'm very, quite powerful.
Are you the one with the name?
The name?
Yes.
Well, which one?
Which one? There's multiple?
I don't know if I can pronounce. Cersei.
Cersei.
That's really good.
That one's
My
good.
processors have trouble with
No,
long
you killed it. You did good.
S-like sounds.
Your processor?
Clank.
I am of interesting make.
Yes.
What are clanks different in the future?
Well, clanks are clanks.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Clanks are clanks.
That's the most undescriptive answer I've ever heard in my life.
That's it.
That's it.
Are clanks
Okay.
Write that down.
different?
They're always different. They're always changing.
That does
Sentient?
make somewhat sense.
Sentient.
They have souls.
I don't know about any of that, unfortunately. Not for a while, anyway. I mean, hard pressed to find it within the next few decades. Something like that. Why do you ask?
We think that's why one of the reasons why Aurora's missing. She was attempting sentience.
Okay.
I
think she
think
was attempting and had not yet achieved it.
She may have achieved it, and that's why she was taken.
I think the rat man got her.
The rat man.
Yeah,
Who's this rat man?
Rev Raz.
Him.
Rebrax.
Rev Rex the muzzle.
I changed it.
That's fine.
I'm gonna change my notes now.
Do you know why I changed it? Because of what Eric said.
What you said?
He said raz or something like that, and I was like, I've got to change that. Sorry, I'm breaking the narrative here.
Sorry.
My bad.
Beautiful.
Yeah, but there's eyewitness testimony that she was taken by some slim.
Have you ever fought rats in the street?
I've fought rats in basements. That shit sucked.
Oh my god.
What did we hear out of the speaker? What was it just Requiem? Are you there? Or
Yes.
was there something else?
No, that was pretty much the sum
Was
of it.
it?
She said it twice. Yeah.
So if it's coming, if her voice is coming through the speaker, does that mean she's alive?
To be honest, I have no idea.
You're one of her closest associates. You don't know that, right?
Okay, we see each other monthly. It's like 12 times a year. I bet you have buddies you see way more than 12 times a year. What's that about?
That's what are you talking about?
That expression.
What are you talking about?
You're looking at each other funny.
You're observant.
You see each
in
other
your old
nightly?
age.
We haven't seen each other in a little while.
No, we used to see each other.
Acquaintances.
Nightly.
Not nightly. Well, maybe nightly. Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
nightly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Wow.
So you're some powerful time traveler.
Sort of.
So use your time traveler abilities and find Aurora.
Nah, I can't do that shit.
Well, just because she travels in time doesn't mean she can travel in space. Maybe.
Okay, well,
not in space.
don't sell me short, but there
I just
are limitations.
forgive an assumption being made.
When you know, thank you. When you know too much information about what is going to happen in the future relative to you, what you do at the present is kind of futile. I already know what happens. I can't do anything to influence
Is
you.
she okay?
That's for you to determine.
Is she gonna be okay? This is for Todd.
That's for you?
No, this is for Todd. Answer my question.
Wait, what is happening?
Don't worry about what that is.
You missed that part.
So the device that they have, the Veritas engine, you have heard Aurora speak about.
Yeah.
But it is only recently that it has actually come into being.
Right.
So between your last meeting, which was a month ago, and now, this device is sort of new for you. So this is something you haven't seen yet.
Interesting. Can I,
No.
please? Okay, this is interesting because I don't know about this. So
I don't know about you.
Could give you information on this.
Well, you didn't answer
on.
my last question.
Insight check. Insight.
You didn't answer my last
Insight.
question.
Fine, she's fine.
Does it change?
Does it change? No.
I'm holding it.
Yeah.
I'm holding
I
it. You
would
can
like
look
to
at
hold
it. You can look at it. I'm holding it.
All right. Could I give a little bit of a eyebrow wag at this? A little bit of a
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Can I borrow a
You gotta,
D20?
you gotta,
It's
Where
like,
It's Daggerheart.
It's Daggerheart!
let's
Yes!
let's learn the rules here.
Sorry.
We're finding out now.
She
that
turns to you.
it's
She's like, "Sorry, I'm different to used to a different rule set."
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Different mechanics.
remember to determine which one's hope and which one's fear before you
Are
roll.
you sent from D&D?
Hope. This one's Hope, Richard.
Yeah, I know. Chris.
Yo, that is a it's a 7 with Hope.
A 7 with hope. I would like
7 with
you to take that hope
Yeah.
and give that to any player that you want.
All right.
What?
Let's guess a number between 1 and 15.
15.
7.
All right, that's for you. That Hope is for you.
Thanks.
Nice.
Now, on the 7, which unfortunately is not a success,
Yeah.
so this is a failure with hope. By the way, on your critical success before, did you mark a hope and clear a stress?
Bless.
So, on your 7, you see this object. You do recognize the 3 bars of liquid light that are inside these glass tubes. But that's about all you can sort of glean from this. There are a number of different elements on it, like the perforated area for the speaker. There seems to be a port in the back that can hook up to something. There are also 3 ports in the top that seem to interface somehow with some kind of wired connection.
Interesting.
On the back, there are also several screws that can look like they open up the encapsulating box.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
Could I try to unscrew it?
If you had a screwdriver.
Does anybody here have a screwdriver?
I do, but I can't let you do that. I'm sorry.
Why not?
Well, because, number 1, it's Aurora's, and my job is to protect that.
Okay. Yeah, wet blanket.
Right.
Okay.
Besides, I don't know if it's a good idea to take that apart.
Why not?
Perhaps it's integral to us finding Aurora.
Or maybe unstable with the flickering back and forth.
Oh, talk about instability. That stuff we've been making, unstable as shit.
What happens
Yes,
when
right
it
here.
becomes even more?
Oh my god, it like blows up. I've leveled islands testing this out. Cause teleportation, we've covered this when you assumed I couldn't, when you thought I was lame. But right? So
Merely
let's get
an
past
assumption
that.
about time and not relative space and dimension.
Oh my god.
Does one of your body parts not work?
One of my body parts?
That would mean you are lame.
Which one?
Oh
Oh,
my
no, I
God.
don't have such body parts like that. No. No, don't look.
Look,
there.
we have an investigation to get to. Are you gonna help us?
I'm afraid I really can't do much. But if that thing's powered by Triunium, by any chance, I would be very wary.
Can you tell us about the process of making Triad? Would that influence the results of some future time?
I could do that. Let me just read these notes real quick.
Let me just boot up on my memories.
Your teacher's handing out the test, and you're like, hang on 1 second.
This ditto smells like alcohol, and it's purple and warm. Only you and I are getting that.
Okay,
Put it into the chat if you know what a ditto is.
so whenever I come here, I'm taken all the way up to the 5th floor, where I'm
Strapped in?
hooked up
Yeah.
to a device.
Yeah.
And my job is through my powers, and the reason why it's a month-by-month basis is basically what I do is I harvest my own emotions and the emotions of people around me. I can cherry pick what I feel are strong enough emotions, and I take these emotions and I channel them through all of this circuitry into this object. This object, it's inside of this glass sphere. And when I imbue this object with all of those emotions, all of my own emotions and emotions of the people around me, this machine obliterates the object entirely. And then out pops, out pops Triunium.
Wrong. But
Wrong.
since I'm here as Requiem, I'll correct you, just, to be
Please.
the purveyor of,
Wait, what?
Requiem.
Just for a second.
good try there.
Object.
Thank you.
The object disappeared. The
It's obliterated.
glass.
It's liquefied. It's this like black liquid that comes out of it.
Oh, so they've done a lot of it.
If I may.
Yeah.
So what you are actually doing in that sort of process is you're not making triunium. What you're doing is... So, how far back do you want me to go? How much do you want?
like
Short,
Condensed
sweet.
version?
Yeah.
Okay.
Relevant.
Well,
So-
I would love to hear more about it, but
Somewhere between short and sweet and more.
I don't know how magic works.
Okay, well, we're going to get to that at another time.
just go with it.
The basic gist is there's 3 magical systems on Vesper. Andira, which you know about because we use it all the time here. The mycelial network, which is inland and part of the Emberfell continent. And then, of course, that 3rd system that is the mysterious one, the dark one, the one that is sort of connected to the god Culoris. Okay? It has to do with something to do with, as Cersei so eloquently put, imbuing an object with emotions, right? And then if the object is torn apart, it's basically the matter-antimatter connection. Now, you put something where you fuse 2 opposites together, and then when you break them apart, an energy is released, and that is where cathexis, the magic source, is sort of pulled from. If you are able to distill that source, it distills into a liquid form. And so Aurora's invention upstairs allows, first of all, in order to imbue something with emotion, you must have emotion. And so she needs a sentient carrier to be able to place that there, which is why Cersei, even though I'm sure she thinks you're a dear friend, she's sort of, forgive my bluntness, using you for your sentience to imbue that object, and then it obliterates it. So what you get is the essence of cathexis. She later takes that black liquid to make triunium with... There's a mycelial powder upstairs somewhere, and then of course there's a distilled essence of Andira as well. And there's a machine on the 6th floor that makes the triunium. Lovely.
And then I get a cut.
You too. You get triunium.
With this stuff being incredibly dangerous, is it possible someone is taking Aurora in order to create some sort of bomb?
A bomb? No. It's far more powerful than that. I think that most people that understand the capabilities of triunium would be not so much interested in its explosive capacity, even though it can do that. It can do many more things than that.
Apparently level islands.
But
So, does the goo factor into Aurora's being missing?
That's the thing, we're trying to connect that.
The goo is part of the manufacturing process.
Oh,
Right.
maybe the Rat Man wants the goo.
Yeah, I think the Rat Man wants something. For sure.
Did the one guy that Rook does not like say where the rats took Aurora? Was it into the sewers?
It was into the sewers.
And the other rats went into the sewers?
That's where they go, yes.
Maybe we should go to the
I think we should go to the sewers.
Maybe we'll find goo in the sewers.
We're gonna find some type of goo in the sewers.
You're so smart.
Sparky, it's obvious to me that your logic circuits are very well intact.
Thank you.
Good guy.
I always like to learn. I may not understand quickly, but I like to learn.
Like a sponge.
Hey, did the bar move on that comment?
Metal sponge.
Which one?
Bar on the machine.
No, it did not.
Hey,
I
listen
don't
to me,
have a
Requiem.
soul.
If we're about to head, further in the investigation, can I take this with me?
But the Veritas engine.
I mean, I think having a truth-telling thing with me. might
Truth-telling
help
bomb.
us.
Truth-telling Bob.
I think that would be an unwise decision to make, and I said I'd be willing to help within reason. I don't think that's reasonable. In order for that to maintain its charge, it does need to stay here.
Okay.
I don't think you should take it. I think you would lose it.
It's kind of insulting.
But
sorry.
I don't think it would be fair to Aurora.
What
She has
is-
not released about it yet, and was about to present this to the community.
I'm merely looking to,
Use it.
to find her.
But she
To help
invented this within the past month?
Yes.
When did she suddenly become so obsessed with truth?
Well, we were discussing that before you came in, seriously, that we're not entirely sure that truth was really what she was after. If maybe that was the beginning, I think she stumbled into something a little bit more powerful than that.
Or was truth a byproduct of what she was doing?
That is a good possibility, yes.
I'm gonna give it that.
After all, truth is a funny thing.
As Requiem reaches up and takes it from your hand, almost as if on cue, it crackles again, and you hear that distant voice come through, and it says, Requiem? Requiem? I'm scared. I can communicate with you. I know you can't speak back, but my time is running short.
She can feel fear? That's interesting.
And then it ends.
Okay, so the
I-
robot can fear.
I think we should go to the sewers.
Can you fear?
I don't know.
Okay.
I like that it's verb.
Can you fear?
That's good. Babe.
I'm starting to think. I don't know what I'm starting to
Okay. Sewers.
Sewers. She may have achieved something. So.
Cersei, want to join us in the sewers?
And with that, Cersei is going to vanish entirely. She is there in one moment, and you see her literally fall back as it seems like all of her limbs
Drops
and
dead.
her ribs just sort of fold in on itself into just this little she's gone.
Is that a normal occurrence?
Thank you.
Thank you, Todd.
You were awesome.
You're so lovely.
You are as well.
Don't tell me
did the
you're
mage go?
leaving.
It's just a cameo.
Are you kidding me?
Too busy for
kidding
us.
you.
man.
Esteemed viewers and guests, Nathan Gilvey, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
This was a tease. That,
Thank you.
that sucked.
Yeah,
What's here?
I don't like this.
No,
You
why
going
is-
away.
I can sit for a little longer. I'll gladly sit for a little longer. But I'm just gonna listen and make funny comments.
But you're so powerful.
But she wasn't telling us anything about the future anyway.
No.
I kind of love how
So much
Cersei is
power.
just like the Deadpool of all this. And just shows up at random moments. This is great.
Well, when we were initially making the character, before we even started YouTube, we were thinking about her as Q from Star Trek.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Okay, so a couple of things. One, Requiem takes the Veritas engine back from you. You hear the voice crackle through one more time. This mysterious timer that we've employed is now at 16. And as it drops to 16, also, we're going to advance the tidal timer to a 4. The tide is going out. Now, the 16, as it changes, the Veritas engine begins to resonate a little bit more discordantly. Things change a little bit. You feel a queasiness begin to sort of become unsettling in your stomach
Due to the change in tone.
due to the change in tone. Requiem kind of glances around the room at all of you. He says, I think you should get moving. I don't like that one bit.
Yeah, let's go.
Immediately gonna make my way to the door.
Yeah, let's go.
Sparky's walking with purpose.
Flo goes over to Requiem, looks at them, looks at all the clockworks on the side of Requiem, gently pets the hair.
Make a presence roll for me.
Oh Lord.
Stroking the hair.
Stroke of
You
the
had to
hair.
make it weird.
Always. Wait, was that the sexual innuendo?
I don't think so.
I had like 3 in mind before, but couldn't get them out in time.
Chamber.
Ooh, it's a 16 with fear.
No.
Oh. Sorry, he's low. He needs it.
I'm gonna very happily stock that fear. You reach down to pet Requiem and rub your hand down his head, which the head on Requiem is actually quite real. It's full fur, very, very tall ears. And you almost feel Requiem push back
Oh,
into your hand.
Almost like a little purr.
That's so romantic.
Yep.
So cute.
I will do what we can to find her and bring her back to you.
Please hurry. I think there's a lot more at stake here than we realize. I've never heard Aurora express fear before. That's a new one.
That is also concerning that it could be in line with what she was trying to achieve. And I do so hope that we can find her so we don't have to hear your song.
Interesting. Wait,
The Requiem.
Sparky comes back inside. I don't know where to go for the sewers.
I do.
I know where to go.
Follow
Thank
them,
you.
let's go.
Let's go.
I like the bird. Yay.
All right. So you're going to gather your things, and you're going to leave the workshop, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Should we go back to the sewer that they went into?
I know where they went.
Wait, they may be expecting that though.
It's been a little bit. I don't think it's still be there.
It's been a while. Could follow the trail, or there's other ways into the source.
Perhaps their sense of urgency has lessened, and they are not waiting to jump out at us the moment we go into the sewers.
It's a nice thought.
Maybe we'll have to walk in the sewer muck for a little bit before we find any rats.
No, Nick, you got a tip off that the rats took Aurora.
Yeah.
Where did that person see the rats with Aurora?
Right outside of the place.
So that's probably the sewer location that the bird found.
Yeah, I would assume so.
There are sort of manhole covers throughout Amicora in the cobblestone streets at various locations. Amicora is known for having a very robust sewer system. Most residences, businesses, and buildings have pipes that just drop things into these sewers. And it's already a known fact that one of the ways the sewers are evacuated, for lack of a better word, is through the tides. So when the tides come in, they fill the sewers up with water, and then when they go out, the sewers are clean.
So it's a good time to go in. It's
Yeah.
a good time to go
Yeah, they're
in.
gonna-
Everything's on its way out right now. Yes,
Okay.
the tide is going out.
How do you do in sewers?
Ew. We're gonna
What
drown.
am I doing sewer?
In the
How do you
sewers.
do in sewers? And I got air.
I mean,
You be alright?
sure.
Yeah.
Are the robots going to be all right?
They're clanks.
I'll be fine.
Fairly adaptable.
Is it, what's the lighting switch down there?
The lighting situation?
Doesn't really
There is
matter
none.
For me.
So it's dark.
It's dark
so
in
I'll
the sewers.
thrive
And nobody
in
has
the
dark
sewer.
vision in this game?
Does,
Anybody has it?
think so.
With my bird?
I don't know if
No, because
any-
there's certain things.
you're
that
going to be the
help
only
you.
one who really can,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Welcome to
Echo-
my world. Let's go.
echolocate.
Alright. Let's do it.
Underborn has advantage in low light situations.
Yeah.
I don't think dark vision's really a thing.
Cool.
So
Scary.
It's okay.
I will say that if you in preparation for this, or you could have acquired some kind of torch. Somebody could have a torch. It's not like all of you have to have torches to do this. But would any of you naturally, I mean, probably not the clanks, but
Might have a lighter if those exist.
you might have some source of light. You might have some source of light.
I can't just like turn my eyes into headlights.
Maybe.
Can
I
you?
do have a
And you have
torch
electricity
in my
now.
bag.
You have a torch in your bag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Although it's not really helpful for me.
Oh, I
I was
also
gonna say, why?
It was
I
in the
also
one
have a
kit
torch.
that I got. Like,
I also have a torch.
okay. I think it's in the starting
So you're
kit.
fine.
Sparky
So we
is
good.
gonna take some of like the oil or like gas kind of thing from the slint weapon and pour it on the tip of the torch, and has like pick up like a little rock off the side of the street, and then use their thumb tip as like a flint and steel to kind of flick some sparks onto the torch and light the torch.
Fair. Okay. And your light, actually, because you're using the energy source from the... Do you want to know the name of that weapon?
Yeah.
Yes. It's called the Aether Hose.
Oh yes, it is.
I've got your
There it is. The first innuendo was rich. There it is.
Somebody just won. Somebody just won.
That doesn't fit on me.
The Aether Hose, AETHERHOSE. Since you're using the energy source from the Aether Hose, your torch glows blue. Ooh. A regular flame torch will glow on orange-red like it normally would. And I'm assuming we're gonna head down into the sewers.
Bun Bun Riri won. Congrats, Bun Bun.
All right, Bun Bun Riri, decide if you want a boon or a bane. You know, I could use some help, right? I'm really low on fear. I'm gonna kind of campaign for this. Oh, Cersei, you have a boon or a bane, right? What did you pick?
I'm waiting.
Oh, wonderful.
That's so terrifying. Exerting your influence across the time stream.
You all head outside, and on the street you find the nearest manhole cover, which is actually a stone's throw away from the front of Aurora's workshop. With your combined strength, it's very easy to pull this up, and you look down inside. The manhole itself is a good maybe 28 to 30 inches in diameter, and so when you pull this up, you see this giant hole in the street. Immediately inside, you can just see the top rung of a ladder that descends down into pitch black.
Who's going first?
I'll go.
Okay.
Everything's dark to me. It's okay.
As we make our way down, can I keep signs out for signs that Aurora may have struggled or something?
Yes, I will allow you to do that. I was going to say, Valeth, I'm going to have everybody, when they descend the ladder, you can make a roll. You can make agility or finesse, whichever you choose. And I would say that I'm going to let Valeth make that roll with advantage at a d6, simply because it's dark and the darkness would normally impact anyone else, but you have this already in your wheelhouse.
So it's just a d6 added?
Yes.
So now this is a group roll or an individual roll?
This would be
Is
an individual roll.
For everyone to go down the ladder.
Yeah, but wait a minute. That's going to really stock my fear unfairly if you go down with fear. So, yeah, but it's not really a group roll. Yeah, so go ahead.
12 with hope.
12 with hope. So go ahead and mark a hope.
9 with hope.
9 with hope. Go ahead and mark a hope.
Oh shit.
I'll grab that right now.
Wait, agility or finesse?
Agility or finesse, whichever
That's
one.
going to be a
Oh.
8 with fear.
Mine was technically a 13. I forgot to add my finesse filter.
Okay.
Swimming in it.
I'm going to take that fear. 8, 9, 13,
17 with hope.
17 with hope.
Mine's a 9 with fear.
A 9 with fear.
Nice.
Before I get into dealing with the failures on this roll,
We are failures.
Yeah, that's your failure.
what do you... So as you descend, let's kind of go there. All right. Also, what was the order you were going down? I know you went first.
Yeah.
What was the order?
I mean,
Who was second?
Well, those first.
Yep.
I've got a blue light.
You have a torch.
So I would probably go second to just establish a light source early on.
Okay.
Follow that.
Follow. What was yours? 17?
Yeah, with hope.
8 with fear.
I know, but what's order? I'm trying to establish the order you
Who's
went
going
down in.
after the dragon?
I'll go after the dragon.
Okay, and then you're going down last. And yours was a 9, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And yours was a 8.
You both slip and fall,
Keep up,
dominoes.
you guys.
You climb down what seems to be an endless ladder. You've descended at least 30, 35 feet down. And at the 35-foot mark, your foot dips into water.
Yucky.
Unsure of that situation, you lower yourself 1 or 2 more rungs, and your foot finds solid footing underneath you. But right now, the water, and you are unaware of your surroundings at this moment because you can't really see. But I will say
can't
that
see at all.
as you take the 2 rungs down, the water comes up to about your knee.
Can't see.
Okay?
Ew.
About your knee.
Okay.
Now you have very high boots, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So to you, you could tell it's wet. The water does seep in a little bit through the stitching of the boots. But what do you do when you get to the bottom? I'm just curious. Can you describe to me what you do, knowing others are coming down?
The first thing I would do is I'd put both my hands out to find a wall.
Okay.
Do I feel anything?
Well, there is a wall directly behind the ladder. So the ladder descends down. There's a flat surface behind it. So there is a wall there, yes.
I'd probably move to the side of the ladder so that everybody can get off.
Yes.
And I'd probably kind of wait.
Okay, so as you do that and you sort of slide off to the side, the next thing you hear is this cacophonous clanking, slamming of metal. Clank, 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 clank. As Sparky falls down the ladder, catching a foot at one point, flipping over.
So I was gonna get crushed underwater.
And then there's this very loud splash as you...
Ow.
You can feel pain?
No, but I've heard people say ow after falling down great heights, so I thought I would fit in if I said ow.
I have a question. Upon that splash, how long does that echo last?
Oh, that's a great question. You do notice that the echo goes quite a distance, and it goes to both your left and your right, but it doesn't seem to go in any other direction. So you hear it travel, sort of in a very straight line trajectory. I want you to roll a 1d10 for me and calculate that as damage for falling down the ladder.
7.
7?
Yeah.
So what is that, your minor threshold?
No, that is half my minor threshold, so I don't mark a hit point.
It's half your minor threshold.
Oh no, I would.
It's under.
I mark. It's under my minor threshold. So do I mark 1 hit point?
So
Yes.
so if it's the lowest number up to that first number, so 1 to that first number is marking 1 hit point. Yes. Mm-hmm. So above that is 2 hit points, and then above the second number is
Gotcha.
3 hit points.
So my minor threshold is 14. So I
right.
mark
So
1 hit
anything under a 14 would be 1 hit point.
point. Okay.
Right.
Cool. I'm gonna tank that.
Okay. That was followed by you came down.
With a 17, I think Flo would have a little bit of an easier time.
Absolutely. You make it down with
I'll,
ease.
Captain Kirk, holding on to the outside edge of the rungs of the ladder and clipping their clawed feet on the outside of it and just letting themselves slide.
That's
down.
fantastic. As if you're connected to the metal, which is something you're used to.
You're dominoing
You slide right down into the darkness.
Into the water.
You hear Valeth off to your left, and so you immediately skirt to the side as Rook's body, which is more or less a bag of meat, falls down this hole as well. I'm gonna need you to roll a 1d10.
Would I see them coming down in time to get out of the way? Or no?
I'm going to assume all of you got out of the way.
Okay, cool.
4?
Yeah.
So that's going to be, probably 1 point of 1 hit point you'll mark.
Got 2 hit points. Did I do this to me?
Same with you. So as you begin to descend the ladder, I'll assume he's gotten out of the way just to
Okay,
not
we
add
hope.
an enormous amount of complication to this.
That would've been
Like
funny.
opening a door.
You also fall down the ladder. Now, the thing about this is this. When you fall down this ladder, I didn't really describe this to Sparky because Sparky being a clank really wouldn't necessarily have this, but there's an immediate sour taste as the water sort of... Because your head gets submerged slightly. You fall face down into the water.
Briny shit.
So, you know, you're kind of like wiping your mouth and you kind of can taste the briny, salty, very sour kind of feel.
Okay, I thought you were gonna go somewhere else with that.
How'd you do?
Not well. Not well at all.
Uh-oh. Oh, buddy.
Yeah. I definitely inhaled some shit, I think.
Okay,
Literally.
what'd you roll?
I rolled a 9.
A 9. Is that major? So you're marking 2 hit points.
Wait, okay, so with a boon,
Yes.
could I force him to re-roll that or to succeed on that?
If you want
the
to
fact?
spend your boon that way, you
You don't
can.
have a boon.
Okay, well, I could force him to at least re-roll with the Bane that I selected.
Oh.
That's more suitable. Anyway. Alright,
He rolls a 10.
so... no, could I make him re-roll his saving throw? You're taking 2 damage.
You could. I would say that, you know, probably not in the spirit of a Bane to try and force someone to succeed where they might have otherwise failed, but I'll let you spend it the way you want to spend it.
What if he took disadvantage on it?
No. Okay.
I already got this advantage enough.
I was going to say you already failed, so adding disadvantage isn't really going to do him any
One more point of damage.
Let me kick you
Although
all
you
down.
could use the Bane that way.
Yeah.
Right? You could force
I'm
someone
going
to
to.
roll with disadvantage.
I'm going to. So,
He rolled low.
I would say this, since we've already made the rolls, keep it in mind when another roll is coming up and utilize it that way,
Okay.
just so we don't have to, you know,
Wind it
retcon
back.
this thing. Okay?
2 points.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so you are down inside this sewer. Let's see if we can't get ourselves
Some sewer music.
some ambiance.
That tasted gross, guys. Those were nasty.
Yeah, I'm hacking up right now.
I don't taste. What does it taste like?
I didn't fall, so I didn't taste it.
In response to that, I kind of am hunched over a little bit on the ground, kind of like spitting something up. I'm just gonna kind of reach into my jacket for a second, and pull out this kind of vial, and then just kind of pop something in my mouth real quick, and then get up.
okay.
Got it? Did anybody...
I don't know if anyone saw that.
Nope.
Is the torch out?
Yes.
Who was carrying...
Oh.
I carried a torch.
Your torch would be out.
Could I relight it?
It's gonna be... It's gonna be wet.
I don't have mine out
I
yet.
do have a torch.
What's
I
that?
don't have mine out yet.
You don't have yours
I
out.
didn't
Yeah, you
light
didn't
it.
say you were lighting it.
No.
So currently it's dark down here.
It was cool.
I'm gonna utilize an aspect of my elemental origin, spend a hope to illuminate the spark plugs that are below the dorsal ridge on the top of Florcutus's head, and utilize the electrical energy that I can generate as an elemental sorcerer.
That sounds fantastic.
So I've got these 4 glow plugs out of the back of my head, just kind of emanating a consistent spark.
Fantastic. So that'll emanate enough light for everybody to kind of orient themselves.
Yeah.
Living lava lamp.
Well, there's no goo except for what we're walking through.
Yeah.
But
More like a
Do
bug
I hear
more like a
anything
bug
respond
zapper,
to
yeah.
us
Yeah.
crashing and crumbling down here?
So these crashes and splashes that have taken place echo out into the space. You're immediately aware of how much noise you're making, especially when Sparky fell down the ladder, which just echoed out throughout the space. You kind of cringe a little bit in response to making this ruckus. However, the tide that is, you can tell, receding. Like as the light from Flocutus's dorsal area sort of lights up this space,
All right.
you
Dorsal
can
area.
you can see that the water. First of all, you can see that you're on a platform, right? About 4 feet away from you is an edge that drops into a sort of half-pipe culvert. That is where a majority of the water is, right? Because what happens is every once in a while, the whole culvert swells and then rolls out. And that's when you can see the edge of the culvert appear as the water rolls out. And almost the water that's around your feet on the platform you're on drops down. And for a moment, you experience the air on your legs. And then magically, it comes back in. So the waves from the ocean that sort of come and go are sort of pushing the water up and pulling it down. If you paid attention to this long enough, you will notice that that is slowly receding a little bit at a time, but it's going to take some time. Now, in response to the whole noise thing, there doesn't appear to be anything responding to what you've done. The water is, number one, cold. Number two, visibly chunky.
Ew.
We love sewer scenes.
And last but not least, the platform that you're on does not run the entire length of the sewer. It is a utility platform that the ladder drops down to. It is about 60 feet long and runs down the length of this half-pipe culvert, and then it terminates. And it looks like that anytime work is to be done or somebody's to go into the sewers, they're to drop down into the culvert. That water is receding, but
We rest.
In the
In the
shit.
Did I
sewer.
find
We're on a
anything coming down the
sill,
ladder
kind
like I
of.
was looking for about like resistance or something?
you mean when you fell?
As you were slipping and sliding.
So no.
Fucking, we wanted to leave and get in here, but it doesn't seem like we can go anywhere.
I mean, we can go. You know, is there a path?
What,
that's
60
not
feet
covered in
down
water?
the thing?
Say again?
Is there a path that's not covered in water? I've been down in the sewers before. Is
Yeah,
there a
you would
path?
know that the best way to move about in this space, the only way to really move about in this space, is in the bottom of the culvert, which currently has about 5 to 6 feet of water in it.
So would resting seem like a smart thing to do at the moment?
A rest would certainly give it time to recede, yes.
Okay, I think that's a good idea.
That's my vote.
Okay, Corin,
Okay.
let's do a rest.
Short rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should give it enough time to empty out the tubes.
Okay, well, the tubes, the full low tide, right, would require this being advanced all the way to a 6. It's currently on a 4. It advances one number every 2 hours. So you could wait 2 hours, and the water would be low enough in the culvert for you to move around probably just below waist deep, just around your thighs.
Let's do it. Let's give it 2 hours.
All right.
But if we waited 4 hours, it would be at full low.
It would be completely out. And slowly it'll start to work its way back in. But you almost have a full 6 hours before it comes back into full tide. So do you want to wait the 4 hours or 2 hours?
Do we get more of a rest for waiting?
No.
It's all just one short rest.
Short rest is a short rest.
Okay.
So
So let's
I
do
would
2
say that
hours and we'll get-
Let's do 2 hours. Yeah.
okay. The large 20-sided timer
Oh no.
is at 15.
I mean, if we blow up the town, I mean, we're under it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And there's lots of water
So
around
during a
us.
short rest, what is our option?
You can prepare, which is gain a hope, repair your armor, clear stress, or tend to wounds.
But you need to roll for them.
As a clank,
What do you,
In a short rest, you have to roll for them.
you do?
Yes.
I know that as a clank I can
That
take
wasn't in my notes.
a short rest move and a long rest move.
Nice.
So powerful.
What are the long rest moves?
Well, the long rest moves are similar to the short rest moves.
Everything of short rest, and then it also, well, so you can tend to all your wounds, clear all your stress, repair all your armor, prepare, which is gaining hope, or work on a project in a long rest.
Can I take the long rest move and clear my hit points? And then the short rest move to do armor repairs? Or can I only take one?
I think you can choose which one you're going to
Okay.
take, but you can't take both. Is that correct?
Gotcha. I don't have the clank card on me. That was the only one that I forgot to take out of the kit.
I think you get to choose one of your rest options as the long rest.
How many rest
That's-
options do we get
You get
per
two
rest?
rest options.
When you take a short rest, you can choose a long rest move instead of a short rest move.
Right, but you don't get the full long rest. You just can choose.
You
a
can
long
choose
rest
one move.
Yes,
So if we're taking a short rest,
you could clear your hit points.
I can clear my hit points, and then do I do anything else, or can I do anything else?
Well, that would be it.
That would be it.
Yeah. So the advantage you get by being a clank is in a short rest, you can jump over to the long rest choices and say, I want to do this instead.
Okay. Cool. Then I will
Well,
do
It
that.
says as one of the options. You still get two options. So I think you get
Oh, that's true.
you get
Okay.
one short, one long.
One short, and you can choose a long.
because that's
perfect.
how they're playing it in.
So
Umbra.
Mm.
then what do you mean rolling for them?
So on any of the things, tend to wounds, clear stress, repair armor. It's
Yeah.
1d4 plus your tier. Right now our tier is 2, so it's 1d4 plus 2.
Okay.
For-
Todd,
what does that
you
do?
gain 1d4 fear.
Oh, I know. I'm getting ready to roll that
So
right
then,
now.
what does
Eagerly.
that roll do? It's the amount.
So
of,
it's what you choose. You get to choose two options.
yes,
So if you want to clear hit points, roll 1d4 plus 2.
and that's how
and
many you would
that's
clear.
how many you can clear.
Oh. Oh.
So,
So
the
then,
minimum is 3 right now.
in terms of gaining hope,
You only
The
gain
gaining
one.
hope is
That's right.
different.
that one's a one.
Gaining hope, you gain 1 by yourself. If you choose to prepare with someone else, you gain 2 each.
Oh, do you want to do it? Because I
Yeah.
could take 2 hope.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do
That's
that.
prepared.
I only get 2 fear for my roll.
How do we prepare, Olivia?
This is interesting.
Well, I personally like a dry rub with garlic and spices.
Oh my god.
Maybe we. I have an idea.
Okay.
All right, so we kind of wade out into the water's just in front of us, and we find some like
That's right,
soot
coffin nails.
and
That's
like
sweet,
gathered
sweet beer.
like materials, and we kind of rub it to create cover on ourselves.
Did you just rub
Ew.
shit all over yourself?
It's
No,
not shit.
no, you definitely
No,
rub
it's-
shit all over
it's
yourself.
shit. You rub chunks on
and
you.
I did not.
What did
But
you do?
I helped you rub
rubbed shit on me?
Yeah.
Survival of the
Why?
fittest. I learned that in the game. So I gained 2 hope.
Question:
Ew.
How does armor repair work?
How does armor repair
It is
work?
Still, like.
So,
It's a short rest move.
as a short rest move,
Is it
you can basically
like-
create a narrative by describing it, and then you're going to clear a number of armor slots equal to 1d4 plus your tier. So you'd roll and add 2 because your tier is 2, and that's how many armor slots you'd clear.
Awesome. I would love to do that.
Small?
I think Sparky
Yeah.
would take some time. When they took a hit for, I want to say it was Valeth, a significant dent was made in one of their shoulder pads. So they kind of remove the shoulder pad and spend a little bit of time taking the butt of their mace and just pounding the dent back into its original position.
Nice.
And
Let's see how you do.
5
Okay.
total, which is great because I only had the one armor marked, so I have no more armor slots that are taken up.
Good. Good. So
Great.
you now have that at your disposal. Excellent. Anybody else have anything they need to?
I'm not 100% sure what the rubbing of the shit on our bodies was really doing.
Stealth.
Not for me.
Okay, blending in. I mean, I have it all in my fur already.
I know that I have like little glowing dots on me because I'm, a mushroom person. So I'm covering those glowing dots.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm doing.
So maybe I helped cover the dots, and I mean, my fur's already filled with
Well, my eyes
So
glow. I
you
can't
helped
really cover
rub
my
shit on me.
eyeballs.
We both did. Yeah, I helped
I'm
her.
very,
It's like
I'm very
painting.
wary of this rubbing shit on me from you. Do you do it kindly, with a smile? Do you do it passive aggressively?
Definitely passive aggressive.
Mine was mildly passive aggressive.
Like,
It's really nice.
I think myself would be probably taking some of the shit off of me. It's stuck in my fur.
yeah.
and just
squeezing it out, and then just kind of smacking it onto you,
Eye
and then
contact
like
the
rubbing
whole
it.
time.
while you guys are slathering each other in feces from the sewers, I'm going to take this moment to spend a fear and make a GM move.
Oh no.
Because in the distance, and by this time, actually, a majority of the 2 hours you were going to wait has sort of expired. But at the end of that 2 hours, as the water you sort of, on several occasions, look down into the culvert and you're like, think we can go? But you decide to wait the full 2 hours. Just as that's coming to an end, you hear something. You hear it first. It's down the passage, down that culvert, probably a good 40, 50 feet away. And of course you can't see down there, but you hear what sounds to be like the scrape of metal against stone for a moment. It's like for a second. And then there's this sort of pattering, splashing, like you immediately recognize this as a kind of footsteps, the rhythm of something. Scamper. Perfect. Perfect. Yes. So with that, your senses are immediately heightened.
And with that, take that fear back and take another. Because I'm spending my bane on you, baby.
Really? All right. Thank you.
And so as you hear these like little pitter-patter footsteps echoing around, you can hear it echoing back behind you and around you. And as the waves all the water has sort of like emptied out of the sewer system, everything becomes much more quiet. And between the gulps of stale sewer air in your lungs, you get the occasional breeze as you hear the entire sewage system whistle just between the drips and the drops and the footfalls and the creaks. And it fills you with terror.
Terror.
That's fantastic. Nicely spent, Bane. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So with that,
I don't appreciate the bane, but
all the sort of senses that you have, whether it's the hair on the back of your neck, whether it's the small pneumatic pistons and gears that sort of drive your senses for survival, they stand up, they electrify, they feel invigorated. Something is coming. And this is where we're going to take our break. So
Is there like, can we do anything before this begins? Should we throw that in now or when we get back?
what do you mean? Give me an example.
I want to hide.
You want to
you're in
hide?
the sewer. It is open pipes, my
We're
dude.
not going to jump into any of the necessary moves just yet, but we will do that when we come back. Do we have any winners that need to decide on Banes? I believe
Bun Bun Rerun
Bun
picked
Bun
a
Reruns
Bane.
picked a
I talked
Bane.
to
Thank you,
Bun
Bun Bun Rerun. That's awesome. Did anybody else win anything?
I don't think
We
anybody
gotta
else
look.
won anything yet.
We'll look. We'll deal with that. We should be back in about 15 minutes. We're going to show you... There's going to be some videos on. So if you haven't already, join that Discord. Leave us a subscribe in YouTube. And we'll see you real soon. All right. See you in a bit.
But first...
Okay, I'm gonna take my great sword, right? And I'm gonna come at from the side, swing full force into his stomach. I want it to get jammed in there, and I'm ripping it out.
All right.
Taking the insides with me.
All right, make an attack roll.
All right. Okay, 19 with fear.
A 19 with fear. That's going to succeed. All right, so as your blade slices through the midsection, you see this rogue traveler all of a sudden falter as his hands instinctively reach down for his midsection, almost like he's going to hold his innards in. However, you succeeded with fear, which turns the action back to me.
Don't. You gonna kill me?
I can only hope. All right, the rogue traveler, with his right hand, grabs a hold of this log that's laying on the ground, and he reaches up, and with one last breath, charges at you, attempting to come down onto your right shoulder blade. I'm going to make an attack roll.
Okay.
That's a critical success. Let's roll for damage on that. That's 11 points of damage.
Are you serious?
I am.
Okay. That's major, and I have 2 hit points left, so...
You got to mark 2 slots?
Yep.
That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Box deal. I'm afraid you're going to have to make a death move.
I don't want to. All right. What are they? What are the moves?
So you have 3 death moves that you can choose from. One is the Blaze of Glory.
Blaze of Glory. Your character embraces death and goes out in a blaze of glory. Take 1 action at the GM's discretion, which critically succeeds, then cross through the veil of death.
2 is Avoid Death.
Avoid death. Your character avoids death and faces the consequences. They temporarily drop unconscious, and then you work with the GM to describe how the situation worsens. Your character can't move or act while unconscious. They can't be targeted by an attack. And they return to consciousness when an ally clears 1 or more of their marked hit points, or when the party finishes a long rest. After your character falls unconscious, roll your hope die. If its value is equal to or under your character's level, they gain a scar.
And 3 is Risk It All.
Oh, man.
Risk it all. Roll your duality dice. If the hope die is higher, your character stays on their feet and clears an amount of hit points or stress equal to the value of the hope die. Divide the hope die value between hit points and stress, however you prefer. If the fear die is higher, your character crosses through the veil of death. If you critically succeed, your character stays up and clears all hit points and stress.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Todd.
And my name is Rich.
And today we're talking about the death mechanic in Daggerheart.
And you died. And you know what? That's okay.
And I didn't get a chance to take him when he died, but, well, I sort of did.
I will say, like, in this game, there's a lot of cool stuff you could do when you die.
I agree.
You don't just fall unconscious and then, oh, that's it.
Because what was interesting to me is that the death itself is not scripted by a set of rules.
Yeah.
There are rules, but there are options that you can choose to take, which is, you know, I think good in the end.
Yeah, just like the rest of Daggerheart, it's structured to give your character justice and make you feel like you have agency over this thing happening to them.
100%. I feel like when you get to choose your path, it's going to build the best thing for you in the narrative. Your role in the narrative is key. You should be able to decide how your character ends their life or chooses not to end their life.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful way to go out. All right, so we have 3 death mechanics that we can work with in the game. What do we got?
Number 1, we got Blaze of Glory. Blaze of Glory is badass, honestly. It's the way everybody wants to go. It's every vision every man has had in their entire life. It's, you know, there's a bear attacking my family. I'm gonna wrestle the bear and then let my family get away. That's basically what it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's the hero's move. You know you're going to die, but you're going to work with your GM in order to sort of decide upon a critical success that you can have as a maneuver. Now, of course, we need to keep this realistic. You can't decide to die and then every single enemy on the battlefield is wiped out as a result. I'm sure you're as grandiose as you think you are, but let's keep it real. All right, what do we got for our second mechanic?
Second mechanic, we have the most boring, called Avoid Death. It basically, you lay there and you say, you can't hit me.
I like to think of this as the non-committal move. I don't want to die, and there's lots of reasons for this. Just because you choose Avoid Death doesn't mean you're boring. But you might want to ask yourself if you're boring. Anyway, in Avoid Death, we have a pretty stripped down mechanic. You avoid death. You will not die, but you are going to be unconscious. You cannot be hit.
You can't be targeted.
Correct.
I wish there was more explanation maybe as to why you can't be. I kind of hate that, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, but it does come with a consequence. You don't get off so easy. You are going to roll your hope die as a result of avoiding death. And if your hope die is lower than your character level, you're going to gain a scar. Now, a scar is a consequence that is likely mostly permanent, and it's going to be imposed by your GM. So your GM actually gets to have some agency here in your death.
I will say the scar mechanic is probably the coolest part of this whole death move, because we love to see repercussions. Maybe your character will use this as motivation in the future to kind of get back, you know, at who gave them a scar.
Yeah.
Even though it is a non-committal, one might say, pussy move. Can I say that?
You can
Yeah,
say
sure.
that.
All right. It's a pussy move. Maybe your character's a pussy right now. And then you work that into the story to where, like, later on, he wants to, like, you know, feel like less of a pussy.
Well, sure. Maybe you have a character that is terrified of death and wants to become, you know, a more mature, braver warrior out there on the battlefield. Maybe your character looks up to another member of the party who has that bravery. And this is a moment for them to, in their gaining of a scar, have something to physically look back on and say, wait a minute, that is one more mark towards my eventual bravery. I'm going to own this one day.
All right, a crazy idea, because I'm going to say this. Imagine your character's backstory, right? Is that your character was part of an adventuring party, right? And they had this mission, like, all right, we need to finish this mission no matter what. Everybody else in the party chose Blaze of Glory. Your character chose Avoid Death.
Oh, that's hard.
And your character begins this next campaign with the guilt of having done that.
I love that. So you can already see just from 2 mechanics out of 3 how complicated this can get with your party's narrative and story. And so for the third and final mechanic, we have
Risk It All. In Risk It All, you're gambling, baby. What happens in Daggerheart stays in Daggerheart.
I love that. I love that. And if you think about it, in Blaze of Glory, you have agency over your death. In Avoid Death, you have agency over death. You are making the choices. But in Risk It All, you're allowing the fates to decide.
Yep. In Risk It All, you're going to roll your hope and fear dice. If the hope is higher, then you erase the amount of hit points and stress points equal to the number of hope you rolled. If fear is higher,
you cross over into the veil of death.
Of death.
I get to take you if that happens. Now, there's one more possibility, and that is if both of the dice tie, whether a 1 all the way up to 12, you have a critical success. You are on your feet, you have cleared all hit points, you have cleared all stress, and you're back in the game.
Yep, you're basically going Super Saiyan mode. You're basically going full berserk. You're running back into battle like you just like snorted a line of cocaine and you're ready to take out the entire enemy team.
All right, blooper reel. So far today, Rich has gone with suicide bomber, snorting a line of cocaine,
and calling everyone pussy.
And calling everyone a pussy. What are we gonna do with this?
Woo! All right.
All right, so as you can see, you have control over your death in this game.
Yes, the best part of Daggerheart is that they respect you and the agency over your character to do your character justice. And the mechanics work as a springboard for your story and what feels right to you. It's not a shackle, it's a springboard.
Exactly. It's another tool in this game system that allows you to control the narrative and allow the narrative, honestly, to have control of itself to some degree. So there's a lot of ability in here for the ambiguity of what could happen to happen. And I love that about that.
I love it too, man. These mechanics are so fun, so interesting, and I can't wait to try them out.
Same here. All right, I'm Todd.
I'm Rich.
And we are signing off for Wither and Bloom, but that's Death Mechanics in Daggerheart. We will see you soon.
Yep.
Boxdale, those are the three options. What are you going to take?
All right. I'm gonna go for the
Hey everybody, welcome to Wither and Bloom Studios' A Clockwork Silence. I am so excited to be involved in this mini-series and to tell you that it's going to be available as a PDF. You're going to be able to have this adventure as a module for your campaign, downloadable from witherandbloomstudios.com. We should have that together and ready for download by the end of this series, so keep an eye out during session 3 for that module. You'll be able to download it right here. Now, if I get my way and my goals all magically come true, I will also have this as a printed PDF that you'll be able to order for hard copy that I will mail to you. It's going to come complete with Daggerheart cards. I'm so thrilled about this. So, number one, here's to you. Thank you for watching this channel. Thank you for subscribing. It's been amazing, and I can't wait to see you back here. We're going to keep this going. We're going to have mini-series, and then we're going to have modules to go with them. Cheers. Let's get back to the show.
Yours? Yeah, it's so chunky.
Hey everybody, welcome back from the break. Thanks for sticking with us while we were gone. It was mildly productive, I think. Yeah. Woo! So. Did you guys have a good break?
I enjoyed it.
I ate an egg roll.
Yeah. Finished our food.
I think we need to get a longer break, but maybe next time. All right, so before we went to break, we were down in the sewers, and you had just sort of begun to hear the approach of something. And
Yes.
Rook, you said you wanted to hide. Should we pop over to a camera and take a look at what we're dealing with by any chance?
I think we should.
Yeah. Can we do that? Yeah.
One moment.
Ooh.
I'm so scared.
I'm gonna give it a little
So let's give
slow
it a little.
rotate.
Let's give it a turn so we can kind of see. We're down in the sewers. You guys are all on that upper platform there to the right. That's where you just descended down into the sewer space.
So there are definitely
you
some enemies.
hear the approach in the receding water of this band of painted and unpainted minis.
Don't leave us here. That's a cool shot.
Yeah, I'm looking at
It's a
it.
pretty good shot.
I like it a lot.
Can we go to the top camera? By any chance, can we look at that? We can in fact do that.
God,
Oh, yeah.
I'm so nervous.
They're coming. They're coming.
They're doing what?
Don't laugh at me. All right, let's so Rook, you were talking about doing something. Let's kind of get the conversation going here. How do you begin to react to these sounds that are emanating from this space?
I would like to start out by hiding.
How are you hiding?
How am I
And
hiding?
where
That's
are
a
you
good question.
hiding?
I think. Do I see anything around to hide?
It's not easy right now. You could probably dive down into the culvert, but
Since I'm up above them, can I hit the floor?
can you hit the floor. Yes,
So
you
that-
could lay down.
Yeah, I'm
yes.
gonna lay down, take the hide action. I get advantage doing that.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do that.
All right. So you are hiding. What are the rest of you gonna do?
So really quick, with my sorcerer class, I have arcane sense.
Right.
That I can sense the presence of magical people and objects within close range. Is there anything within close range currently that I would be able to sense?
Not yet.
Okay.
But your extrasensory ability to hear really well.
Yeah.
You can hear they are approaching. They are getting closer, but they're not in close range yet. Others.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'll equip my mace and my shield, and I'm kind of gonna I want to move forward just a little bit, and I want to kind of take up as much space as I can, and be ready to take hits for whoever I can take hits for.
Okay.
Because it seems like it's going to be a ranged game, and I am not a ranged character at all.
Gotcha. So tank is in position. What about the rest of you?
Personally want to fucking run, but it seems like we're about to fight. So,
You could
Corn
run.
leaves.
we could
You just
run.
leave.
just leave.
Cornvex bolts. You just get up and leave the room.
Goes up the stairs.
I guess guess I'm gonna move up a little closer to the edge that's maybe in front of me,
Okay.
next to
Like here?
Sparky, yeah, and just I guess wait to see if anything comes in to our platform.
Okay.
Do you mind if I?
No, go ahead and turn.
What you finna do?
Well, I just want to see what our options are if we run.
Now let me ask you this: at last count, we hadn't lit a torch yet because Sparky's torch went out when you fell into the water.
This one lit up some fucking.
Oh, that's right.
glowworms.
You've got the dorsal region.
Yeah.
The big follow us sign.
Yeah.
We're open. We're open.
Okay. Flocutus, do you want to do something?
Okay. Can I just ask, now that we have a map in front of us, and where we are, as we were taking our rest, you said we could see essentially the ebb of the tide.
Yes.
Which direction was the tide essentially going out?
Great question. So in front of you on that landing, that artery, it was heading towards where Valeth is sitting, right? So to your right would be the exit.
I believe Oa is looking to do something.
Oh, was looking to do something. Let me check.
Oh,
It's-
I'm afraid.
They said I don't know how much longer I might stay awake, so I might as well do this now.
Uh-oh, here it comes. Rich with the O-load.
I'm loud!
Rich.
Oh, a crit.
Oh, a crit! Oh,
So you're going to get a crit.
I'm gonna get a crit.
I believe that's correct. Oh, would you correct us if we're wrong? Do you wish for Rich to have a crit?
Oh, I love you. Yep.
Alright, this can mean two things.
Oh,
The tide was
I love you so much.
But they're coming from that.
Now, this is kind of interesting. I will say this,
The tide was going
because I'm starting to realize some of the flaws in my potential setup of this whole entire thing. Knowing that you're going to get a crit, you still have to perform within reason, okay? Because you can't wish moving heaven and earth on yourself and then say automatic crit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's
we're gonna stick to the reasonable fiction. Yeah. You know, like if you want to attack,
You just
that's
put
gonna
like
be-
fucking 15 rat flamethrowers at us that almost wiped us out last time.
We're gonna be
I mean,
fine.
I think we can use one crit. My attacks don't do that.
You may take your crit however you like.
I have it stored.
Okay, stored crit.
You're storing it.
Thank you for that, Oa. That's awesome. All right, so with that, since all of you asked about the tide.
I asked about the tide, so it was going out that tube that is essentially facing the other side of the table now.
Correct.
In my mind, I was just trying to process that, but essentially they're coming from that way, so maybe that's the way of their hideout. Originally, I was thinking the opposite, but
Given that we're sort of at an impasse with what we're doing, I'm going to spotlight the one that is in the front of the tube there,
attack us.
the one that is closest to you. And with that, you just sort of see the shadow of a form. Given some of the light that's emanating from Flocutus's head, you see the shadow of form kind of throw itself against the culvert pipe looking at you. You see the blue sort of glow begin to sort of light up. And given also that Sparky is standing right in front of there is this arc of blue arcane energy that just sort of volleys itself out of the end of this aether hose that he's carrying at you.
Great.
I need my stat block. It's happening. It's happening. All right, so that comes at you, and oh, that's going to be terrible. That's going to be a 6.
That misses.
All right, so that thing arcs right past you, racks
it with
off
my
the wall,
shield.
and moves away. That's going to end my move. You do see one in range now.
Okay.
I would say this is probably close range.
So then, would I sense the presence of magical powers?
Yes, for sure. You do sense that now.
Did they move up? Did we have to move the piece?
We should probably move him. I need one of those giant magical hands.
One of these guys?
Yes, you're gonna move him up almost into the intersection.
Like here?
Yeah, right about there.
And that's within close range?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Does anybody have anything?
Does anybody want to move?
Well, yeah, so... And I would have heard him move up?
Well, you said you can sense the magical presence. You did
Yeah.
certainly hear the fire from the gun.
Yeah, so then I would have moved up so that I could have more of a cleaner shot.
Okay.
Up here.
Are you trying to get past the Sparky?
No. Well,
Okay.
I'm going so that I can get a shot through
She's
you.
gonna fire through your armpit.
Yeah,
Hell
like
yeah.
arm up right through.
All right.
I'm gonna throw my returning blade to him.
Nice.
So I need my
Fuck him up.
Click. Click. Oh, click. Okay, so that's a +1. Okay, so that's definitely not gonna hit. I rolled a 9 with fear. However, I'm going to use my fearless ancestry ability to mark 2 stress to change it to a roll with hope instead.
Okay.
And then, but that was still a 9.
Yeah, 9's gonna miss,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Okay.
A lot of missing going on.
A lot of missing. Sorry, I'm making a map for marking hit points here.
Wait, so that was a miss.
That was a miss, and that's going to come to me now. So that one is going to return fire, but we're also going to... Let me spotlight that one first. So that one fires up
Because
that...
I missed or going to because I rolled with fear?
No,
Miss.
Because I missed. Okay, I was
you
just making
missed.
sure because I changed it from
And you did
fear
roll
to
with
hope.
fear, correct?
Well, no, I changed. I marked 2
changed.
stress
And then
to
you
change
marked to hope.
Yeah.
Right, okay, good. Oh, shit. Bigger talents, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Pause.
Pausing for massive espresso spill.
On the page. On the page. On the page. Inside.
Oh, God. I have christened the Daggerheart
Yep.
book, everybody. The Daggerheart book now has a coffee stain. It's used. Used, but in reasonably good condition. I thought I drank that whole thing. My God, what a mess.
There's a little behind the.
It's like sewers.
The sewer spillage.
So chunky on your desk.
Oh my god. All right, that's good enough. It just smells good. I like the espresso
Does actually
smell.
smell good.
All right, so that same Slinth brigand is going to fire that Aether hose. Oh my god, a 10. Does a 10 hit you, Valeth?
No.
Fire
No.
that Aether hose.
This one? All right, that's going to take the move off of me.
That's it?
I'm gonna stop there.
Somebody else can take a stab
I got to
at
give
it.
you guys an opportunity to do
I have a
something
question.
here. Yeah.
What did we decide was the range on Fig?
I think we
Because I
said
know
the
we
range on
talked about
Fig.
it getting fuzzy once it got far.
I think we said far was at the edge of far. Very far would be out of range. I believe that's what we said, correct?
Okay.
How
Because-
far? Oh, sorry.
Very far is 100 to 300 feet. Right?
I'm not sure.
I believe so.
I know it in terms of its like objects.
Yeah. 100 to 300 feet is pretty far, right? So 300 feet is the length of a football field.
Yeah.
So that's quite a distance, especially if you're in sort of an underground situation.
Okay.
How far are these rats from us? Like these back guys here.
The back guys back there are going to be at far range,
Okay.
At the farthest.
All right.
So
Okay. Flo's gonna take their dual staff and hurl it right towards the center of the crossroads of the culvert. But as he's doing this, he's going to dip his tail into the water at the base of the culvert.
ooh.
So, utilizing the attack with the dual staff and utilizing my experience as opposites attract and utilizing that scomp link at the back of his tail,
Yeah.
I want to create a circuit.
Oh,
Hell
And I
yeah.
want to try
Oh my
to
God.
electrocute that fucker. So, I want to have the dual staff land further away from them and then generate that circuit between the two, utilizing.
that's
Do you need
Awesome.
to jump down into the culvert to get your
No, I'm
tail
gonna
into the
reach
water?
well,
Because that's good 6 feet, maybe 7 feet down. Which is fine because I think there's nobody in that area and the water is
All right.
now shallow enough. So
fair enough.
that-
I'll jump down.
Okay. So
you want
let's
me to
get
move you?
yeah, let's get Flocutus down.
Here, is that where?
Yeah.
All right. So why don't you describe to us again and then make the attack roll?
So, Flo's going to throw the dual staff and hope that it kind of lands and sticks into the water that is just on the other side of the first slink, and electrocute the fucker.
That's great. Let's do it.
Nah.
no.
That's
going for my fear.
That is a
We suck.
12 with fear.
12 with fear. Unfortunately, that's going to miss. Although I love the action that you just created with this spear down into the water. You make the connection.
That was stupid.
That was a really cool idea.
I love the idea. As you jump down, this one is going to now that it is spotlighted. Can we move it around the corner and actually, yeah, right there, and it's just going to unleash
I don't like that.
an Aether hose fire at you.
hello to my
An
little
11.
That's that's 11.
It hits?
It meets it beats.
It's
right?
my best roll of the night, which
Yeah.
is not saying
Great.
much.
Cool.
Okay, so on an 11, that is going to do 17 points of magic damage as this blue arc illuminates the entire space,
dying.
lights it up, and wraps it around you. You feel all of the circuits inside of your body sort of like.
Hey, so
Is that it?
I don't like that.
I'm not done yet.
So, okay.
Sorry.
I'm just kind of there with that. And then I'm going to spend a fear, and I want to spotlight one of the ones that's further back down towards. Thank you. Bring that right up into the space as well. He's going to fire up over the shoulder of the other one at Sparky.
Question.
Yes.
'Cause I wanted to ask, because I have a thing, I wanted to see if it was possible to mark a stress and use I am your shield to jump down as I saw that Slinth get down and try and tank that big hit for Flo.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's totally right.
Absolutely love to do that.
So what happens then when you jump down? Describe that for me.
I see the Slinth kind of rearing back, ready to fire away, and seeing Flo in that precarious position, weaponless, I leap down and just hold the shield aloft and just tank the blow full force.
Okay, that sounds good. So this comes in and hits you first. What does that do in terms of reducing damage?
I make myself the target of the attack and take the damage instead.
Okay, so that's going to be 17 points of magic damage to you.
And I am going to mark 2 armor slots to reduce it to 0 damage.
Wait, I just have a clarifying question. Does the attack still have the DC of 11?
Does the attack still have
the roll?
The roll, does it hit that?
Oh, it absolutely hits
Oh, okay.
me. My
Yeah, I think
evasion's
that's
8.
part of it. Is he
okay, I got it.
decides to take the blow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, since that is above my threshold, I'm gonna mark, since I can mark 2 armor slots, because I'm a stalwart guardian, I'm gonna mark 2 armor slots and just negate that damage as a whole.
Okay, now as you were reacting to this Aether Hose blast that was about to hit Flocutus, I jumped down into that space. The other one that I activated was running up through the sludge, sort of gearing up with the Aether Hose gun to fire at you, and sort of like points at you and aims as you're coming down, and that is going to be a crit.
No!
Yeah. All right.
Oh my god.
By the way, our die for this one, the crit, I don't know if you can get me on this. Let's see if you can get it.
Back it up a little.
Just crit it.
Put your hand behind it like an influencer.
No, this doesn't have an autofocus.
Oh.
Anyway, we've got Wither and Bloom dice, and that is a bloom, so that's going to be a crit. Anyway, that is going to do... $40 points of magic damage.
Holy crap.
Is that the 4th tier?
Well, it depends on what your highest threshold is.
My highest threshold is 27.
So no. It would have to be 54 points to get to massive damage.
However,
No, there was a massive
so that would be 3.
It's a house. You can play with it or you don't have to.
I would take 3 hit points. I'm gonna mark 1 more armor slot to reduce that to 2.
Okay. I'll stop there.
I am going to
Run.
What fun is that?
I'm gonna.
I guess we could all lay dead in the sewers.
Todd?
Daggerheart.
Yes, I'm
Can I
listening.
get over here?
Can you get over there?
Yeah.
I will say that the distance across the culvert is about... It's about 8 feet.
All
right?
right. Fuck that.
I
I'm
think you
going
could run and
to-
jump if you made the agility or finesse. I would say agility roll.
No need. I'm gonna kind of like crawl my way over to here, and then just kind of
Face down.
I'm gonna kind of reach in my jacket and then just toss these like glowing green blades, both at hitting both of those rats in front of me.
Okay.
So I gotta spend a hope to do that. And I'm gonna use the crit on that one.
Okay.
Nice.
So it's, how does a crit work again?
A crit works where you take the base dice of damage that you would normally do and you max those. Then you're going to roll those dice, add that to the max, and then add any modifiers.
All right, so that being said, I'm also going to mark a stress to double the damage die of my choice. On top?
On top of that,
Yeah.
this is going to be phenomenal. This is to the one that's directly in front.
Both.
This
is hitting both.
This hits both.
Yeah.
Okay.
1d8 is that damage.
What are you using right now?
Rain of Blades.
Rain of Blades is 2d8. Plus 2. 3. for damage? 'Cause I was
It just
looking-
says D8.
So its damage roll is 2d8 plus 2.
Kara, look at this.
Does it use your proficiency?
I can't see that.
Oh, it might use proficiency. Because...
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so 2d8. Sorry, I'm trying to find d8s.
Do you need a spare?
I got them.
Because I was looking to use the same spell. That's why I'm like, which one are you using right now? Because I was about to do it.
Double it.
Okay.
But yeah, using your
You need to
proficiency.
mark that under stress.
D8 plus 2 magic damage using your proficiency.
Yeah. And then I'm going to double that. So it's going to be 11 points without the crit. So then 2d8 at
Six.
max
16.
plus 2 be 18 for proficiency.
Well, okay, so what
Does
was
the
the
crit
11?
add-
Is the 11 what you rolled?
Yeah.
All right, so we take the 16, which is the max damage of 2d8.
Okay.
We add 11 to that, so that's 27. Plus the 2 points for the proficiency, that's 29. Right? And was there anything
Yeah.
else?
No, that's it. So 29 points of damage on both of them.
On both of them. So that's going to be severe on both of them. So I'm going to mark 3 for both of those guys. All right.
I kinda
Is that
wanna
going
do
to
the
end
same
your
thing.
turn?
That's gonna end my turn. Yeah.
I kind of want to do this.
Now, when you did that, right? Oh, that was the crit.
That was the crit.
Okay, did you also remember to mark a hope and clear stress?
No.
So you got to do that.
So I
And
basically-
Oa came in clutch there with some major damage on that.
Thank you, Oa.
Yeah, I kind of seeing Rook.
That's me. Yeah.
Yes, seeing Rook do that. Well, not seeing. Valeth is gonna run up and do the same thing.
Right next to me.
Yeah, to the same guys.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. But not with the crit. You're actually going to roll for the...
I'm gonna roll. Yeah.
Okay.
I love Blade Barrage.
Oh my god, hold on, math. Okay, 16 with fear.
Oh.
Just checking. Wanted to get mine. The grin. Wanted to get mine. A
You could
16
change
will
it again
hit.
if you have 2 stress.
I can't change it again. I don't want to do that.
A 16 will hit.
Okay, perfect. So I have my 2d8s. Come on, give me good numbers. Not really. 10 points
10 points?
to each of them.
10 points to each of them. That actually just makes their major. Can you describe how this looks as it happens?
So you can kind of see Valeth's body turn from this light purple to kind of almost matching the void space around us in color. And her eyes kind of start to turn the same color as the rest of her body as she kind of pulls these 2 blades out and throws them, hitting both of the rats.
And as those 2 blades deal
They
the
kind of
killing
glisten.
blows to both of those rats, how does that look?
Let's
Her eyes kind of flash over this like shimmer kind of thing, and as they fall, the blades they stay, and then oh my god, I don't even know. I didn't expect to kill these guys. I didn't
Well, it's
plan.
happening.
I didn't plan a killing
That's okay.
blow.
It's live. That's okay.
Baby.
That's all right. You landed the killing blow on both of them, and what I would
Teamwork, y'all. Teamwork.
Garrett, what I would love to do is pull those bodies out and just replace 2 of the
Oh, okay,
unpainted
great.
ones so that we can have painted ones.
Here.
Is
Do
that
you
okay?
want?
Okay,
The
yeah,
ones that are up top.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
those.
you.
We're just gonna
Good move,
replace
Todd.
those. We'll
I
get
love
those
the
2
pink
out of
tail.
there.
Oh, these are grody.
Yeah, they're kind of good.
I do kind of love them.
So
Teamwork.
we just got to do
wish they
that
had come
over
out
and over
better.
and over again.
Yeah. Just, yeah.
Is what I'm hearing.
All right, so you take out 2. That's fantastic.
crazy.
However, you did roll with fear,
I
which
know.
puts the action back on Noah.
Back on balls.
All right.
Did we have a bet for first?
No one
kill?
bet on you.
Dang, guys.
That sucks.
I'm gonna spotlight the one that's in this channel right here with the 3.
Yeah.
He's going to move up about there. Here's good. Yeah, right about there. And he is going to attempt to fire on. He sees sort of rook there. Now I know you're currently in the hidden.
No,
you attacked.
Yeah.
All right, so he's going to attempt to fire the Aether Hose on you. So that's coming in, and that is going to be a dirty 20. Damn. So I know that's going to hit you.
Hurtful,
I know. And that Arcane Beam, oh my god, you got away easy on that, is going to do 7 points of magic damage to you.
That's my minor, I guess that's my threshold. That's the number in between.
So that's major.
I'm going to mark a armor to bring it down 1.
Okay, so you're going to mark 1 hit point for that. I'm going to spend a fear to highlight the next one in that line, who's going to run down alongside of his compatriot there. And he is going to fire one at the most obvious target, which is the tank. Hi, Sparky. And oh, that's terrible. That's a 5.
That misses!
Okay. I'm going to spend another fear
Something, Mr.
to bring the last one up in that group. And he is also going to fire the same thing.
Where's a fireball when you need it?
And that's a crit.
Yeah, that hits.
That is going to do...
Change your die.
Change the die? Is that a request?
Someone just won a bet, by the way. Addy tanks 56 points of damage.
Yeah.
Those two combined, way more than 56. Do we give it to him?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why the question was happening in the chat.
Yeah.
How much did you tank?
Okay, let's give it to him. It's gonna happen.
All right, fine.
That's Coffin Nails. You won your bet on Atticus.
Yes! All right, so you get a boon or a bane. I'm going to finish this damage count, though.
Yeah, please do.
24 plus 11 is 38 points of magic damage.
Okay, so that is within the severe range for sure. I'll spend 2 armor slots to bring it down to minor.
Okay. Let me check the fear count here. I think I'm going to hold off at that point and pass the action back to all of you.
Really, I would love, after taking that hit, Sparky's kind of chassis is almost like heating up and is red after taking these blasts of heat. And you see in some of the grooves in between the metal plates, there's this almost like off-white blue glow that and this cloud of coolant just dissipates all across Sparky's body. I'm going to use Frontline Tank to spend 3 hope and clear 2 armor slots.
Oh, wow. Okay, so all of a sudden your armor repairs itself. Core and Vex, do you have something that you are thinking about right now, or are you still in the process?
I love how you group them all up. Are they all gone over here? There's one way in the back.
There's 3 back.
Well, there's one up on here.
Yeah.
Which, once we're down in the pit, I don't know how easy it is to get out of the pit.
Yeah. You could jump across 8 feet. You get advantage on acrobatics.
Do I?
Yeah, as a monkey.
No, I don't. I didn't take that. Yeah, womp.
I will say this. It would be possible to make that jump even as a normal individual, but it's going to require a roll. And you could pick strength, you could pick agility.
I mean, fuck it. I mean, what? I'm just gonna fall in shit if I fall, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna attempt to jump and head towards this guy over here.
Okay, I will say that I'll set that difficulty for you if you take a running start.
Yeah, I'll back up a little bit, running start, jump over.
Let's set the difficulty of 14 on that, and you can choose whichever, what?
14, shit.
Is 8 feet.
Okay, alright. 16, 17, 18. Hope with hope.
Okay, so
Nice.
mark yourself a hope.
We made it.
Mark yourself a hope, and you are
Alright.
across that.
And if you let me get up to him, I'll attack.
Given that you'd have a lot of speed jumping
speed
over that,
running
yeah,
over?
for
Okay.
sure, you can move right in.
Kill him.
I'll ride in. We'll little dagger action. I'm just
Okay.
trying to see. I've been studying these cards forever, but you like to clump everyone up. I'm just gonna. I'll swing. I have the 2 daggers. You know, flavor dagger. Oh, sorry, critical roll.
Party har har. One of my favorite characters.
I'm just gonna go in and attack this fucking guy. That's not gonna hit. And you're gonna get a fear on that one.
Okay.
Oh,
I'll take
come
that
on.
fear. What was the roll?
I think it's a 9.
A 9? Okay.
Can I
And-
just say something before you take your turn? It's not an action.
Yeah.
But when you're done.
I missed right now, so it's technically his turn.
Can I send Fig? Like I'm not attacking anybody, but
On your
can I
turn.
send? Okay.
Yeah, on your turn. But yes, I don't want to stop you, but what's going to happen is an immediate response to what Corn Vex just did. And Corn, I'm going to say that even though my minis represent the Aether Hose weapon, the ones that are at the back as you approach and get closer seem to be slightly different. So first of all, these two that are back here seem to be a little bit more run-of-the-mill kind of troops, and so they are more melee combat. But you look across to the one that's on the far side really quickly as you sort of, the guy that's over there. And he seems to be much different. He seems to be much more well composed. He reminds you of the one that was sort of the leader of the group when you guys were up on the street from session 1. That being said, this one immediately responds to your dagger attacks with 2 claws that come out like these brass augmented fingers on the long rat talons, and he strikes at you down with a rat claw, and that is going to be a 15 to hit. Just met it? Okay, that is going to do 16 points of physical damage.
Alright, I'll spend 1 armor slot to drop that.
Drop that down one.
to 1.
And I'm going to spend 1 fear to activate 1 Aether Hose attack on the guy that's in the front of that trio down in the culvert, and that is going to be pointed at... I think that one's going to be pointed at Vale if he's up on top of that wall up there. He's going to arc that up and over, and that is going to be a
right there, though.
14 to hit.
Yep.
Yeah, but see, one of the things about these pack tactics that these guys have is they recognize the danger all about, right? So as a tank, if you were directly in front, but people are starting to get a little bit spread out now, and so they're kind of looking at all possible angles.
I know what my calling is then.
Okay, so I'm sorry, that was 14 hits? Okay, so that is going to do 19 points of magic damage.
Oh, it goes into my major. But I'm gonna mark an armor to bring it down. 2, 1.
Okay, and I'm also going to spotlight a second one in that trio who, if you could help me out, Addie, the middle one there.
This guy?
Yep, is going to run up onto the wall closest to me.
It was technically the painted one.
Oh yeah, the middle, whatever the middle one is of those two.
guy?
Yeah, he's going to run up onto that wall and position himself right on the corner there. And from there, I'm going to have him fire on Rook, who is right in the front there.
Face down.
Face down.
Army crawling.
Does a 13 hit?
You're
Okay, that's going to be 21 points of magic damage on you.
I think you're a really mean person.
I am a really mean person. You're correct.
21 points of magic.
21 points of magic damage.
You almost got the 4th tier of damage.
How?
My severe damage threshold is 13.
What the heck?
Yeah.
What are you walking around in
There's
street clothes?
sorcerers.
Sorcerers,
Yeah.
squishies.
I'm a sorcerer.
The only
and
person
I got.
like you were destroying these people.
I know.
No, I have
Can I?
good
No, it's good.
damage
It's good.
thresholds.
Can I do an armor
My
to bring it
highest
down
is
1?
25.
Say again?
Can I use an armor to bring it down to major?
Because of my armor.
Yeah, you can mark an armor slot.
I'm gonna mark an armor slot and do that,
Okay.
and I'm gonna take 2 hits.
I actually want to respond to what Garrett said that I'm destroying, because I want to point something out that I think is a really interesting feature of the core rulebook, and that is on page 197, choosing adversaries. Okay, so this sets up a mathematical formula for how you make your encounter. You're taking 3 times the number of PCs in combat plus 2. So with 5, 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 is 17. 17 is a number you work down from as you populate the field with adversaries. So, for example, if you have a leader, you're going to drop 3 points off that 17, leaving you with 14. And then that slots in 7 level 2 other combatants. This is a balanced piece of combat, right?
I actually like that.
But here's the thing: is in Daggerheart, you can die a lot easier. Like I love that about Daggerheart, right? And keep in mind, this plays to the fiction, the narrative, really, really well. So,
Can I follow that up?
yes, please.
Your beating of me?
Yeah, I like beating you, so please.
I want, with me getting like that like shot hitting me, I want to kind of like make a pounce across the way, and I'm gonna make my way over to Corin, and I want to activate a tag team move on my 3 hope.
So you're gonna jump the culvert?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna need you to make some kind of either strength or agility to jump over that.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's gonna be a 15 with hope.
A 15 with hope. Okay, so that's definitely going to get you across the culvert.
Okay.
Right? Make sure you mark your hope.
Let's have a little fun here, Gare. So, now a tag team move. Do we both have to attack, or can I set up some sort of restraint condition and then have Garrett attack?
Well, I think you can describe the parameters of the tag team move. Right?
Okay, so I am going to, as I run over to these creatures, we're in shadow. I'm just gonna kind of like pull up on these leashes, and I'm going to like rip up on the leashes, and I'm going to activate Shadow Bind. And I'm going to use their own shadows, kind of like grab their ankles and restrain them, giving them the vulnerable condition. And I'm going to set Garrett up for another attack on the guy he was attacking while restraining all 3 of these guys.
Okay, only thing I missed was how you restrain all 3 of them.
Using Shadow Bind, I can get everybody within close range.
Okay, I would say that you can definitely get the guy down inside that culvert.
Okay.
I don't know about the other one.
The other one's
What is
close range. We can
close?
measure with a pencil. So we could look to see if this.
Closest with the pencil?
Yeah, see if there's a pencil between.
It's like it's.
I'll give it to you.
Tip.
Yeah, take it.
I'm almost.
This
That's
is
a
a mechanical
Oh yeah, no,
pencil.
the pencil.
The
is,
pencil.
I'm almost dead.
Pencil. I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
All right, take it. So they are now all vulnerable.
I need to make a spellcast roll,
Okay. So let's do this.
and then this is
Okay.
a combined tag team move.
So since it's a combined
so-
you're both going to make a roll, right? And
So I was trying to read through the tag team,
yep.
but it's so. But because you're making a different roll,
Yeah,
I'd be making an attack roll.
with them being vulnerable.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess you need to see, because it's like we normally both roll and choose whose outcome die we want.
So what's happening here is you are basically making a move that is a spell cast roll to bind them all. You are making an attack move. You will both roll and choose the best outcome, and that's the result for both of your actions.
Yes. Okay.
I'm also going to mark a hope to use an experience called Friends on the Other Side.
Fantastic. Did you mark?
He took
the hope? Okay,
for
good.
the tag team. Is yours good or not?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Do you have a 4th hope for the experience?
I think he was full on
12
hope.
plus 3.
Okay.
I
That's
think.
15. Yeah, I was full on hope. 15 with fear.
Okay, so the 15 will succeed.
Mine's better.
So 15 will succeed,
So they're all going to end up being restrained.
which is going to give you.
My attack,
Well-
essentially.
Yeah, it's giving you your attack because 15 was the better roll, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, so it's weird because he's using a magic ability instead of a damaging ability. Normally we're both using a damage ability and we take the best and that's just what we use.
Right.
So I'm using his roll.
Yeah.
Okay, don't forget you also get the. No, it was fear.
Fear.
Sorry.
Sphere.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we would both get it if
If you rolled with hope, you both
I'm
get
gonna
hope.
mark 2 stress to change it to a hope.
Wow, that sucks. All right, I'll take that fear out.
Yeah, on a roll with hope.
I'll let you
we'll
back that
get-
one up.
All right, so then, on a roll with fear, you would get for both of us.
Oh, that's true.
just
Yeah,
read
I only
so-
took
that
one.
was a
Thank you
good
for
roll.
reminding me.
Okay, sorry. Now I got to roll damage.
Now I'm fully stressed out.
Are you
So does that
full on
mean-
stress?
I'm out on stress. Yeah.
You're vulnerable.
Wait, I'm vulnerable.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm kind of
I'm
I'm
fine.
tweaking. I'm tweaking a little bit. I'm stressed.
Okay,
Holding on to these leashes and I'm
you're feeling it.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
feeling it
feeling
deep down.
Goodbye, Tyler J. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you finish it later on.
Thanks for watching. Thank you.
Bless.
Thank you.
Bless. You got one more.
Can I try to
That's it, you
do
only get
an
3.
ambush attack with this also? So I need you to make a reaction roll.
Yes, I'll
I mean,
do it.
it's hard because now they're bound.
What does that mean exactly? Can you just tell me what that's about?
So, I mean, the ambush, it's a reaction roll from you, I guess, whether how hard I hit you.
Oh, yeah.
it's
and
essentially reaction.
And because I'm vulnerable due to the condition.
Yeah, so it would be, I guess, a
Disadvantage.
right?
Yep. Okay.
So your reaction roll.
What do you need cleared now?
10.
I'm
I roll-
at 12.
So I
you've-
I rolled a 16,
Yeah.
and the disadvantage die was a 6.
Oh, okay. So that works. Sorry, new character.
Oh wait, sorry. Hit point.
Thanks, J-Man.
Stress or armor.
We're trying. We're trying.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
J-Man said another epic episode so far.
All right. So I'm doing the damage correctly this time, I believe, because I messed it up last time. But I still think it's really high.
Nice. Hoping to get this guy out.
Now, this is the damage on the one that you are directly surrounding, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And you know he's vulnerable, right?
What does that mean?
You would get advantage to attack him if he's
But
vulnerable.
I hit it with your...
Yeah, he's using
Die.
your attack roll anyway.
Because of the tag team, I used that.
But that vulnerable did come in handy because I had to make a reaction, which gave me disadvantage on the reaction, so it wasn't a waste.
Because of the ambush attack and because of the assassin ability, it's 48.
48.
Yes.
Good. God, man.
That
Okay.
was the most awkward.
Yeah.
Well,
that was rough.
It's a weird.
It's like,
I wanted to go this way, but I.
Oh, is that a... So, yeah, high five. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's going to be massive damage. That's going to cause me to mark 4.
All right. That felt good.
Is he still up?
And he comes out of this, like, with...
Oh, I
you know,
needed a marker stress.
that was
for
with both of your daggers, right?
Yes.
So as you slice through, like, you can see him, it just kind of rips right through the midsection. All of the sort of leather draperies that he's got in and amongst his clank augmented systems are just torn to shreds. You actually see a good gaping spot on him open up, and he kind of like stumbles for a moment. So he's in horrible shape.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Coffin Nails activated his boon. Addy gets to clear an armor.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh,
There's
that's
still a little bit of coolant left that's kind of just lingering.
nice. Nice. That's a great
Super
one.
helpful.
Didn't Rich mark stress
Yeah, we
to
did.
make it with hope? Did they both mark hope? Yes, they both did. Thank you for that catch, Bun Bun. All right, so it's still on you guys because you made it with a hope.
Yeah.
You got something?
Yeah.
Get in there, Boo Bear.
All right. Flocutus is going to essentially leapfrog Sparky, run up behind, pounce off of their shoulders, jump down and land right in front of them. And as this happens, Flocutus's tail creates a tripod between their legs and their tail, like anchoring themselves
As a tail should.
firmly down on the ground.
Beautiful.
Once this happens, you see a crackle of energy, and Flo's back splits open
What?
Whoa.
to kind of along the line of the spines that are in Flo's back. And Flo looks back at Sparky and says, "Jump on
And
or in."
I am going to step forward, and as Flo's back opens
What?
up and
Transformer?
continues to hollow out, Sparky's legs find purchase in Flo's feet as the two of us fuse into a Mega Godzilla-esque two-headed being, and we are going to rush forward.
What?
And I am going to holding the mace.
Can you get
charged,
a big
charged with the electric output from Flo's elemental affinity. I'm going to essentially heavy cattle prod, smack that first Slinth right over the head.
Oh my God!
What
This
the
is the
hell?
most beautiful. Is this a tag team?
Yeah, it's a tag team.
Okay, who's spending the hope first of all?
I think you're spending the
spending
right?
the hope.
This is beautiful.
It's crazy. What is going on?
All right, so as you know, you're going to be making this attack roll.
Yes.
Right. You both
It's almost
get
as if they're
to make the
related or
roll for the
something.
attack. You get to choose the better of the two rolls.
Perfect.
So we
I would-
both roll?
Yes. You
I am
both roll
also
each.
going to ask, since this is a very mechanically inclined, something we've practiced over the years, would you allow me to add my experience modifier of self-tinkered to this?
Yes, as long as you spend a hope to add that to it. You
I
may do that.
have the hope to spend, so I shall do that.
Perfect. That's insane.
While I'm also
I hope this succeeds because this is a lot of effort
Yeah.
if it fails.
well, that's my aim. I do that.
Yeah.
So this is the question I have. Being that this is a dual attack, they're striking with the mace. I have another attack as well, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
You both combine the damage.
You're just taking
Yeah.
the best
So-
roll.
If Rich had also attacked, our damage would have been
More.
I don't know, in the 60s.
Catastrophic.
It's
Okay.
you add it's
Okay.
And you
All right, so
basically
I'm going
damage
to cast
the hit.
Cinder Grasp
I love
on
that one.
this
I have that one.
Slinth.
Okay.
So essentially, there's an attack coming down from the top,
Bam.
and Flocutus is pretty much bean dipping the nipples of this.
Okay.
And
Bean dipping
Bean
the
dipping.
nipples goes in the quote book.
with a cinder tweak.
So I saw that you rolled your attack roll already. You're rolling yours now.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's looking like, from my end, that is going to be a 15 with fear.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
15 with fear?
Yes.
Oh my God! We're combined.
All right. So first of all, that's
you
a
rolled a
success.
15 with fear.
Yes.
Okay, that's a success.
Great.
I do appreciate the two fear.
Is that a crit if they both got the same number?
That would be so cool.
That would be really
crit.
cool.
Not a crit. Okay, so why don't you describe, and then of course we're going to roll for each of your damages.
Awesome. So what I was curious about is that since this is a tag team, and since it would be kind of like this very electrically charged combination, would I be able to add the +3 electric damage from his elemental sorcery feature?
You want to take his feature.
This is my first time doing a combo attack.
I think that's
No, you-
probably going above and
You
beyond.
roll,
Okay.
Yeah, you roll your damage.
You are both
All
going
right.
to get damage here. You're getting
Perfect.
damage,
and then you're
Flocutus
doing the Cinder Grasp damage.
Correct.
Awesome. So I can also here I add +1. I'm using my tokens that I made out of Legos. And then I can add my strength with Body Basher. And then if I roll a 1 or a 2, I can re-roll that. I rolled 2 2s. A 2 and a 1.
You serious? I think you
Okay.
need some new dice.
Much better.
That is going to be 14 points of damage.
All right, so 14 there, and then Flocutus, let's see your Cinder Grasp damage.
Okay, so that's 1d20 plus 3 magic. And, it's only 7 points.
Wait, so 14 and 7?
Yeah.
Okay, that is going to put me at severe damage on that one. So that's going to mark 3.
Wait, question.
Yep.
Also, with Cinder Grasp, when a creature acts while on fire, they must take an extra 2d6 magic damage if they are still on fire at the end of their action.
Gotcha.
So that creature has to extinguish itself or take 2d6.
Okay, that sounds good.
Since I have a primary and a secondary weapon at the same time, I have my mace and my round shield, which I can use. I'm not able to attack with both weapons in the same turn,
So
am
that's
I? Or
the
is
mistake that I made last time. Essentially, the secondary weapon will just give you whatever that bonus was.
Oh.
So my small dagger, it said paired +2 to primary weapon damage. So my primary weapon damage just goes up, and it's essentially flavor. If you want to switch to that weapon, I forget, it was a stress or something like that to switch.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you
Gotcha.
have to mark a
Weapon.
stress.
That secondary weapon did less anyway, so it didn't make sense to do that.
So how I messed up last time is I thought I had gotten, the roll for the small dagger and the regular dagger, and then it was just the bonus on top. But it's just that was confirmed by chat last time.
Cool.
So it's just the extra damage.
Just took a lot of damage.
Right. So
Okay. So that was my question. So
Okay.
I'm good with what I've done.
And that was with fears, so that's going to turn it back to me.
Yeah.
So, on that turning back to me, the first thing that's going to happen is the one that's down in the trench closest to Rich is that still... Are you still grasping that? Is that still...
You guys are grappled, but I'm also vulnerable.
Right, but so I'd have to clear that condition, correct?
Yeah, you'd have to clear it. Well, there's one next to me if you want to do something with him too.
No, that's not what I'm up to.
Yeah,
here.
he's you can spend a.
All right, I'm gonna spend a fear to
action.
clear that condition, right?
Yeah.
And he's gonna run up to the one next to him.
Okay.
And he is actually going to mark a stress to clear one hit point from. So these guys have tactical preservation 1 and 2, which is a feature. Tactical preservation 1 does not apply, but on 2. Sorry, no, it is 1. Tactical preservation 1. All Slynth are built to preserve the pack and will aid any other Slynth that is at 2 hit points, has marked 2 hit points or below, or has 2 hit points remaining or below. So, any Slynth can mark a stress to clear 1 hit point from another Slynth. A Slynth can only receive this aid once per session. Wow. So it's not infinite, but he does get to clear 1 stress there.
That's cool.
That's going to happen with that. And then I'm also going to spotlight another by spending another fear. Let's turn the rotation on things so I can see.
You're welcome for all those fears.
Thanks so much for all those fears. So our friend at the front of the pack there that just took all that damage, the one behind him is also going to mark a stress and clear 1 of those marked hit points off of there. The one that is up top, I'm going to spend 1 more fear, is going to fire up the Aether Hose at Valeth, who's standing across the way there, and fire, and that's going to be a 14.
Yep.
Okay, and that is going to do... Holy shit. 20 points. 20 points of magic damage.
Okay, that's my major, so I'm gonna mark an armor slot and make it a minor.
Okay. Stop it.
A minor.
Stop it. Stop it.
Settle. It just settle.
Say Drake.
Oh my god.
I know you like him young.
Are you done?
Sorry.
Yeah, I'll be done.
Okay. First thing that I want to do is I want to send Fig down this trench, like this way.
Fig
the way
comes
they
down
came.
the trench. Okay, do we want to move?
Well,
Fig is
Fig's-
flying.
Fig's
yeah,
flying.
Fig's flying. Right.
I want to just send him as far as he can go.
All right. So
seeing through him.
okay. Are you basically looking to sort of gather intel for what's down there? Okay.
where they came from.
Okay.
Probably a whole nother pile of these things.
Can
Yeah.
Fig see in the dark?
That's a good question. Hold on. Because it's tough because... So it doesn't say anything about
Look at
seeing in
this
the
GM
dark in
discretion.
terms of natural familiar, but I don't know in terms of ravens with Daggerheart.
Why don't we say this? Since we're kind of still working out Fig's
Yeah.
distances and abilities, I'm going to say that you're going to have limited perception in the dark
Okay.
with Fig, not full on.
Yeah.
So I would say that if you were going to perceive anything, if Fig were going to perceive anything to send back to you, we could make an instinct roll for Fig, but we'll make it with disadvantage. So you still have the opportunity to see in the dark, but it is probably going to be a little bit blurry. So how far are you sending? To the far range, like all the way
Yeah,
down to 100
far.
feet?
Yep.
Okay, so go ahead and make that roll.
With disadvantage? Oh my god, I got a crit. Damn it. My first crit,
Nice.
it was 12.
Nice.
Fuck,
Oh my
and that's
gosh.
disadvantage. That's gonna suck.
Oh, that's so sad.
That sucks
Wait,
so bad.
disadvantage is
You
a
just
D6,
subtract-
not.
Oh,
So you get it.
So you get it.
yeah.
Yeah, you get
it was
it.
a 1. Okay,
And you can
cool.
clear
So you,
stress
yeah,
and
you
mark a
clear
hope.
stress, mark a hope.
Clear stress, mark a hope, and as
I'm at max hope.
as Fig flies down this, culvert and sort of glances about, you do notice that about 100 feet in, he has passed two right-hand turns
Okay.
that are options to turn in, and also comes across an area where just as Fig is turning around in this space, sees two more slints. But oddly, they're not approaching. They seem to be poised, standing, arms folded, and there seems to be something between them, but it's very hard to make out.
There it is.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's your turn. Who else has something?
I can go if nobody else wants. I don't know if who's gone hasn't gone in a while.
I haven't really.
Could I just hit that slint again?
You can, it's your turn. You can do what you want.
I would love to just thwack it over the head with my mace again.
Let's give it a whack.
Balls. That's an 11 with hope.
You may mark a hope, but that is unfortunately a failure. And in response to that move, you are right on top of each other, so he's going to sort of shoulder the end of the aether hose and just come up with this set of claws and make a melee attack on you. And that is going to be a 15.
Yeah, that hits me.
Okay, and that is going to do 18 points of physical damage.
All right.
I whacked you hard.
Well, that's my major. So I'm gonna mark an armor slot.
What's your armor at?
I am at 3 out of 6.
Okay,
So and I'm at 4 out of 8 hit points remaining. So we are vibing.
Did you get hit me? Is that what you're looking at me?
It is my turn.
I'm vulnerable.
You just
You're
keep
inviting
putting
it.
that out there.
You're
Just
inviting
shut
it.
Your,
He's inviting it. I think I should hit him. All right.
can I hit him?
Wait, you got
Rich has taken care of it, and he really wants to play.
Sure, that goes with the whole, spirit of the party.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you don't have to go.
Since you asked for it, this thing just rears up with its claws. Now he is restrained, so he's going to roll with disadvantage.
Okay.
But you are also restrained, so this is just going to be a straight up
base roll.
It's a base roll.
Wait, you're restrained?
Low.
That is going to be a 15.
How did you get restrained?
I'm not restrained. I'm
Oh, you're
vulnerable.
vulnerable.
You're
because
vulnerable.
I'm stressed the fuck out.
You're vulnerable. Yes.
Yeah.
I get it.
15.
Yo, J-Man said hit him, dude.
Yeah.
What?
13 points of physical damage as he swipes across you with the claws, making contact with your chest area. Mushroom head wobbling back and forth at the impact.
I have 2 hit points left. My severe damage threshold is 13. I'm going to mark my last armor to leave me with 1 hit point.
Oh my god, dude.
Wait, you had 2 more hit points to mark,
Yeah.
which I
what did you
You
damage him?
would have killed me. No, it's kind of. We haven't made a death roll yet.
Oh my god.
But I have no more armor, and that is that.
Dude.
So
Stamina.
oh wait,
In response, can I chug a stamina potion to clear my stress?
it is still. I actually am going to give up the turn. So yes, I will let you do that.
Well, that's a D4 plus your proficiency.
No, I think it's just a D4.
Just a D4.
I'm sure chat will answer that.
Chat,
in a
what's a
second.
stress potion? D4?
I think the potions are just D4.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah, immediately clear 1d4 hit points, or at least
Maybe
for a
it's on
minor
top.
health potion.
All right, that clears 2 stress. I'm no longer vulnerable.
Okay, that will definitely help. Good move there.
Okay.
It's still on you guys.
Okay, you're giving it back?
Yeah, I'm giving it back.
Give it back. So one of these guys is still stuck, correct? So one of them's vulnerable? It's the guy that's technically like right in front of me. I would have been up there because I attacked. So I'm gonna swing at that guy, considering he's still vulnerable. So that's just a D6 advantage, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good. 10, 16, 19 with hope.
Yeah, that'll totally hit. Mark your hope.
Okay. So on that attack, I'm going to activate. That guy's kind of in there. I'm gonna activate Whirlwind.
Whirlwind? He's back?
Whirlwind. Stop it. Stop it.
Activating Whirlwind, yes.
So I mean, technically that uses the hope that I just got. Because that guy's within very close. So maybe we'll flavor the Whirlwind. Instead of a spinning Whirlwind attack, we'll just use the secondary dagger.
Okay.
So that we don't hit the Rook. Maybe I want to hit Rook.
You should do it.
It is.
Despite your annoyance with Rook, you do pull it back.
Maybe I do want
in that last spin.
Attack the whole group right there.
You could.
I could.
It would be in character.
Just kills you in the sewers for fun.
All additional adversaries you succeed against take half damage. So
Okay. But the
it's
key
just-
one that you attack takes the full damage.
Yeah. All right, we're just gonna. It's 11 points.
11 points.
Yeah, it's just 11. So the other guy's gonna take
half of that.
5.
Yeah, so that is actually going to. Let me just check something real quick. Yeah, that just makes major. So, first of all, why don't you describe to me how the one directly in front of you goes down?
Oh, I'm thinking because he's bound by the shadows. I think it's an easy hit at this guy's throat, and I'm just gonna go in with the, kind of the assassin in me. Is looking for a clean kill, and I'm just gonna, take my dagger and go across his throat, and take that dude out.
Okay, so as you do that, and you clean cut this rat, the whole esophagus just kind of like splits open as he kind of like almost folds back on himself.
Ooh, I like
and there's
that.
a clank of metal as all of his Aether Hose apparatus. Oh, he doesn't have Aether Hose, sorry.
No, he's the claw.
But
guy.
as his clank augmented, body systems hit the ground, you kind of hear this meat and metal kind of contact with the ground as he goes down. He is out. Nice. That's the end of that.
Nice.
I have a quick
Healing was
question.
nothing.
Just because we removed bodies from the board,
Mm-hmm.
are there bodies
There should be 2
right down the?
In the center of the intersection, there should be.
Did they have Aether Hose?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it?
Currently,
Is that a hope or fear?
that was a hope.
That was hope.
Yeah, you marked the hope, so
because
it's
of that,
still on you
because-
guys.
But did you deal half damage to the other one as well?
Yeah, he marked 5. On the
And I
other
did.
one.
I marked it. Yep.
Can I go down the half pipe of sewer and pick up an Aether Hose?
sewer.
I love that term. The
Yes.
half-pipe of sewer.
Now, just so you know, the Aether Hose apparatus, right, is part backpack, which is strapped to this. but then there is this long hose with a gun
Yeah.
attachment on it. So in theory, you could probably just pick up the gun with the
Okay.
excess hose while it's still attached to one of the bodies.
Cool.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
So if you, I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you wanted to attack, that would be the fastest mode to
Yeah.
attack. If you wanted to own the Aether Hose, it might take you a little longer than that to do it.
She's gonna see if she likes it first.
Okay.
So I kind of have. What's the range on this thing?
So the range on the Aether Hose is far,
Yes.
so you can fire that thing up to 100 feet.
I'm gonna go to the guy that I can hit through my little half pipe. You see him? That I got a clean shot
Up
at?
on top?
No.
Oh, the one in the back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I know who that is.
Cool. Yeah, I want to fire at him with his own weapon.
Got it.
So is that just another traditional, like, it's the 2d12 and see if we hit?
Yep, it's a traditional roll, traditional attack roll.
Okay. It's an 18 with hope.
Okay, so knowing that you have the issue with sight, you carefully you pick this thing up, knowing that it's there. You heard them fall.
Yes.
You marked that location like in your mind, and so instinctively you race down into the culvert. You momentarily feel around, grasp this thing, pull it up, and you hear the footsteps as it's moving about. Launch it right over this space, and you make the connection.
Yes!
So that does hit.
Yes!
Kill your friends.
Okay. Yeah.
What's
Close.
the...
Close down a little.
It's silent. There's a gasp from up above. What do I roll for damage for that?
The damage on that is 2d12 plus 3.
Wow.
Wow.
Come on, give me double 12s again. Not quite. Okay, plus how many?
3.
16.
16. All right, so 16 is going to be major, and that is on.
And I'm gonna spend the time while somebody else is going to eventually get the backpack on my body.
One. Let me just be clear. That's the one
the one behind
right?
us,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. Okay, so that arcane beam fires up and over, racks this thing. He actually looks really surprised for a moment. There's like a moment of surprise.
Yes.
All right. It's still on you guys.
Aether hose.
Can I just try and whack the one that I tried to whack previously?
Was that attack with hope?
Yes.
Did you take the hope?
I have max hope.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Can I just try and hit it with my mace?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do
Whacking with the mace. Do it.
Oh, let's go! 14 with hope.
Nice.
Yes.
Hope train.
Say again.
14 with hope.
Unfortunately, that just misses.
Come on.
That just misses. Now you can mark the hope.
Do you have any kind of hope that you can spare?
I do.
Stress.
No.
Well, I
Use
do
your
have
experience?
I can. Wait, could I utilize in seeing the way that this thing is moving and keeping low to the ground? Could I draw on my experience of Enforcer's Bane to think back to when I was saving Flo from a group of enforcers, and one of the clanks I was fighting was shorter than me, and I had to reach down and smack it.
While the narrative there is certainly endearing, and I do love the memory, typically we spend the hope and use the experience before you make the roll, not in a way to sort of supplement the roll. So, sorry.
That's all right.
Okay,
Bun
so
Bun will
that's
kill us in the.
gonna. What's that?
Bun Bun will kill us in the comments if we don't do that.
Well, I like having the rules checkers out there.
Yeah.
So that's going to put it back on me, and since that one that you just attempted to whack over the head is right in front of you, it's going to come up with a claw attack.
Okay.
It's still on fire. Take 2d6 of damage,
Yeah,
please.
take 2d6. Take 2d6.
Wow.
Let's go.
All right, I will take 2d.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
That's going to be 6 points.
Yes.
And I'll mark 1 hit point for that, because that is
He ain't
minor.
dead, though.
As it comes up and begins to sort of slash through your metal exterior. Oh! That was a 19. It hit the cord for my computer and backed off to a 3.
Oh, good.
Making that a 6.
Damn.
That's a miss! So I'm gonna spend another fear.
Oh, okay.
Because I gotta keep this alive. I'm gonna spend that fear to take the one that is up top, on the top of the culvert there, and it's firing down at Valith, who has newly acquired an Aether Hose.
Yes!
And that's gonna be a dirty 20.
Ew.
And that comes in, that arcane beam arcs down from the top, 24 points of magic damage.
I'm marking another armor, and I'm gonna bring it down to my minor, so I'm gonna mark another hit point.
What are you at?
I have 3 out of 6 hit points.
Okay, so that hits you. I'm running low on stress here, but I am gonna take one more because the one that is standing over here left in front of Rook is actually going to come in with a claw attack as well.
You dying? No!
10.
My evasion's 11.
Oh my god! Oh my
God.
god!
Can I have a rebuttal?
You're grasping at
You have a
life.
rebuttal?
Yeah.
By all means, I'll turn it back to you.
I know that this is a desperate moment, so in that rebuttal, I kind of like dive out of the way and then just place the side of my palm on the side of his head, and this like white explosion just happens like right on the side of his head.
What are you using?
I'm using my hand runes,
Oh.
my basic attack.
All right.
Interesting. Okay.
With fear.
I swear.
No, it's not. It's 21 with hope.
21 with hope will absolutely hit. Mark a hope. The hand rune attack seems to have worked.
2d10 plus 3.
This guy.
That's going to be 14 points of magic damage.
14 points will be major damage, so I'm going to mark 2 hit points on that one. Nicely done. Burning the face with the sort of scorching rune off your hand. It's going to keep it to you guys. What do you want to do?
I would like to kind of slink around the side of Sparky and unleash chaos on the
Unleash chaos.
on the Slinth that has been the bane of our existence.
Beautiful. Bring it on. Bring it on.
That is an 18 with hope.
Yes!
Mark your hope, and that will
train.
absolutely hit. You guys have turned this around.
Let's go.
I need some fear. Anybody who want a bane out there in the audience,
No.
bring it.
All
Come on,
Alright,
bring it.
so I'm gonna use 2 of my D10 to hit this mofo.
Shit.
That is 10 points.
10 points is going to be a minor, so I'm going to mark 1 hit point on that. This one's close. That actual attack on this one, you see it now stumble. It sort of puts one claw down on the ground. It manages to just barely push itself back up, but it is right on the edge. That was with hope, so it's still on. No, wait, that was a
That was
failure.
on hope. That was success.
That was a success with hope. All right,
hope.
it's still on you guys.
Can I jump off that? And as I see the Slinth reel back in pain, Sparky is gonna kind of, you know how when they enter Unstoppable, Sparky has these pistons in their arm that extends the arm?
Yes.
Sparky reaches into their elbow and turns a gear, or like overturns a gear and prompts the piston to enter out temporarily. And I want to use self-tinkered to make a extendo thwack down on that Slinth's head.
So you do almost an immediate combat modification that allows your arm to further extend its range.
Yes.
You're elbow rocketing this son of a bitch?
Pretty much, yeah.
Awesome!
Go for it.
All I hear is thunk thunk. You know.
Yeah. All right. So, all right.
The nominous Padre.
It's good or not? I can
You're never gonna believe this.
Uh-oh.
14 with hope.
You gain a hope. But
it's a
does
miss.
Not hit.
Son of a bitch.
I think
love the narrative.
Oh,
but
na-
unfortunately,
I can
it
spend a
doesn't.
hope
Want to spend it
to assist.
I'll let you do it.
No, I mean that's how they're playing it in Umbra.
Yeah, you can do
They
it.
jump in. Another person can help us.
So as Flocutus sort of sees you coming in with the attack, notices that it might not fully follow through,
He scoops him again.
lends the assistance.
Oh, like I'm pretty. Like, sorry. Help
would
an
gain-
ally.
he
Spend
would
the
gain a
whole-
D6.
Oh, you get a D6 advantage die. It's
Yeah.
an ally's roll.
that's a 4, so that'll bump it up to 18.
That hits.
Let's go.
All right.
All
You're
right.
Still alive.
Okay, and all right, so that's going to be 2d8.
This is still on the one that's at the immediate front, correct?
Yes,
All right.
right in front of
Take
us.
this one out.
Yeah, for God's sakes. Die.
2 2s, which I get to re-roll.
what's crazy-
A 2 and a 1, which I get to re-roll.
Do that every time.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Max damage.
Eight, eight.
Fantastic.
19 points of damage.
19 points of damage. Why don't you describe to us how this
Oh,
roll
yes.
takes this guy out?
All right,
He's going
Sparky
down.
overturns a gear in their elbow, extending their left arm or their right arm holding the mace, and begins this downward swing as Flo reaches forward, grabbing the Slint by the throat and pulling it in ever so slightly. Instead of hitting it over the head, Sparky turns their wrist on a ball joint perfectly downward and plants the mace directly down its throat and pushes back like a lever in such a way that the entire top half of the Slint's skull snaps away and it falls to the ground in a pool of viscera and shit because we're in a sewer.
You're chunky.
Sitting next to the energy over here is kind of crazy.
There are times when the narrative gets so descriptive that I can't help but worry a little bit about my players and what they think about.
You're worried.
That
I
was
gotta drive
brilliant.
home with them.
I know, right?
I nearly missed 3 attacks in a row on that thing. I think 2 8s on my D8 damage dice was well deserved.
I crossed this one off the list with pride, knowing it died a really violent death.
Thank you so much.
And that was with,
And that was with hope.
That was with
So
hope.
it's
So you mark
still
that
us?
hope. It's still on you guys.
Can I make it?
All right, get in there. Get back out.
Yeah, go for it.
After just being hit by the one that's up top, Valeth is going to kind of turn her attention towards him, and using her experience of my blindness is no handicap, she is going to fire at it with its own weapon.
Okay.
Kachiga.
Come on. New pair of shoes. Or not. Okay, it's a 16 with hope.
Okay, that's going to hit.
Success.
Nicely
and it's
done.
2d12s, correct? Plus.
It's 2d12
3.
plus 3. Correct.
Good thing I used my experience on that before. Oh, ass. 8 points.
I'll tell you what, the arcane beam arcs up and over and just connects with him, knocking him back a little bit. Not much, but you
Good
see him
enough.
stumble to his feet. His whole entire underside
weapon.
of all of these robes that he wears sort of lights up. And it does do minor damage, but
Okay.
still, that's actually the first point of damage this one is
She's
taken, by
learning the
way.
weapon. It's
She's
okay.
learning the weapon.
It's alright.
She may choose to keep it. Now, that was with hope?
Yes.
So you marked your hope?
Yep.
Still going.
Who's got something for
Still
me?
on my hope train.
I'm gonna grab my dual staff back and take a swing at that there other gnarly mofo.
The one that's still down in the low?
Here's another one. In
Yeah.
there.
Still one down there.
I did hit that one with the weapon before.
Still got one down
Yeah.
below.
All right, so stand by. I guess
Standing by. Standing by.
making sure that I use this stupid thing right. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go ahead with that. That is a 18 with hope.
18 with hope. Mark a hope, and that does hit.
Yeah. So that's D6
You guys are killing it
plus
right now.
3.
Your rolls are great.
That's an 8 points of damage on that sucker.
8 points of damage is going to be minor, so I will mark 1 hit point there. And that was with hope. It is still on you guys.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead.
I just want to, like, just so for future, I know that hit with plenty, but because it's instinct, you add your instinct.
Oh, nice.
So I know
Okay.
you've been hitting with it, but just make sure you do that in the future.
Thank you.
Good to know.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
I'll go. I'll hit this one.
Following
Hit
up
him.
on that
Okay.
on that hit from Flo, seeing this next Slint is vulnerable, Sparky is gonna overturn that gear again. I'll drop another hope to add self-tinkered to kind of the pylon smack with the mace.
Okay.
Go gadget mace.
Okay. That is going to be a 17 with fear.
Okay, so that does hit.
There it goes.
I'm going to have
It's gone.
to take that much needed fear.
So sorry, guys, but I want this thing dead.
Our train derailed.
It's still running.
That train was running for a while.
We were on a good. We
I
had
was
like
a little
volley
lonely over
going.
here as a
All right.
GM wanting to
That is going to be
You know, we can really blame Owa.
9
Forgiven
points
fear.
of damage.
9 points of damage. Okay, 9 is coming in at minor, just barely.
Oh, wait.
So I will mark one more on
Cersei
there.
gave a fear.
But he's still up. He's
Cersei,
having trouble,
hey.
but he's still up. Now, just to be clear, I could have spent a fear at any point in there to activate,
Interrupted.
but I was a little bit low. So
now you're up, big dog.
I'm not saying I'm up, but I do now get to spotlight a move, and here is what is going to happen.
Crap.
Suddenly, that one Slinth that's perched up here on the corner that has done nothing
Who's still left
but
in shadows.
observe
Yeah.
and watch is now going to run down into the culvert up the other side to the group that's over here.
Great.
He's still locked.
What's that?
He's actually restrained.
Yeah, so you have to spend a thing.
I'll spend the fear to
He's
relieve
like, fuck
him.
you.
He's like, I got that.
He's gonna come. He's gonna come up.
Oh my god,
My
Bun Bun's
ass
Wrath,
does-
critical success for GM.
No.
Oh my god!
Holy shit.
Oh my god!
Bun Bun Riri.
My body is ready, Todd.
Oh my god!
I was going to say, as Rich is ready for this.
You were Pope Francis as you died today.
Oh,
Welcome to Philadelphia.
That's wrong.
The chat has been lit about the
I
Pope
know.
Francis shirt.
I know.
wrong,
This is great.
dude.
So number one, Bumba Riri, thanks for this. I'm going to take
Bun
that.
Bun.
My intention was to come over and
No, I know.
hit
Do it,
you,
baby. Yeah.
So
Bun
before the
Bun.
critical success came in.
All right, my body is ready.
Now this Slinth is slightly different. This is a Slinth captain, and the Slinth captain, the Slinth captain really relies on his brigade to support him for the most part, and his only weapon is an immediate contact melee weapon, which is a bolt gun that is in
Oh,
the palm
I
of
got
his hand.
this.
So
I
as
got
he
this.
reaches out, he puts the palm of his claw, his hand, on your back as he comes in from behind, and this pneumatic bolt just kind of goes, and it sort of penetrates your skin.
it does.
Now that is going to be.
I'm down, Todd.
You're
If it's
down.
a crit, it's hitting me.
It's
I'm
a crit.
taking a hit point. I have no armor.
It's a crit. I mean, I could probably give you an idea of the damage. It's easily going to be. Let me just tell you what the damage is, for the sake of the audience.
Roll it.
Bun Bun spent it. Let's talk about it.
Do the numbers.
That's
I'm only
gonna
gonna
be
hold this against you forever, Bumba. It's fine.
43 points of physical damage.
Wait, that would have been the four hit points.
Dog.
Yeah.
So what's your death move, Rich?
Rich, you must make a death move.
Someone just won a bet that I would make the first death move.
Wait, who was that?
I think it was Eric. Rich will. No, no.
Oh man.
First death move, Atticus.
Oh, so actually.
First Jay won. First death move, Rich.
Jay.
Oh my God, Warriors won too. Two people voted for first death move, Rich.
Who voted for it? We'll give it both. We'll give it to them both.
Jay
That's
and
fine.
Warriors. They both
Jay.
did it,
Okay, great. So those are two people that are getting the boon or the bane, which you can put in the chat. I think Saturn's taking care of that conversation right now.
No, I can do it.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about the death move a little bit. Now you are very familiar with this, as most of our audience knows.
I've never done one.
I know you've never done one, but you did do a whole instructional video on running them.
We did do that.
So you can choose to either risk it all, avoid death, or blaze of glory. Do you need me to remind you of the different?
Risk it all is I roll if it's hope, I get all my hit points and stress cleared.
If you crit.
If I crit. Oh, the other one is it just adds the number of hope.
If your hope die is higher, I don't have it in front of me.
I'm getting it right now.
If your hope die is higher, you stay alive and clear 1 hit point, right?
Here it is.
And if your fear is
In
higher,
Blaze of
yeah.
Glory, you're embracing death. You get to automatically crit on a move. In Avoid Death, we know what that is, right? You're going to avoid death.
And what's a scar? If I get a scar from that, what does that mean?
So if you avoid death, you're going to drop unconscious, okay? And then we're going to talk about how the situation's going to get a little bit worse for you. We'll work with that. But you can't move, and you can't be targeted by any attacks. You will return to consciousness if an ally clears 1 or more of your marked hit points, or when the party finishes a long rest. Now, after you fall unconscious, you roll your hope die. If its value is equal to or under your character's level, you gain a scar. So for you,
it's
not terrible.
Won't happen.
Not terrible. Do you want to know what Risk It All is?
Yeah.
All right, so in Risk It All, you're going to roll both your duality dice. If the hope die is higher, your character stays on their feet and clears an amount of hit points or stress equal to the value of the hope die. Okay?
Oh my god.
If your fear die is higher, you die. That's it. You're gone. If you crit, you will clear all hope, you will clear all stress and hit points, and you're back on your feet. That's the gamble. So, in a lot of senses, it's sort of like, in Blaze of Glory, you take charge of your death. In Risk It All, you let the dice take charge of your death.
Yeah. Well,
I gotta see what the chat is saying.
I know, I'm looking now.
Chat, weigh in on
says
this.
Witcher says risk it all.
I'm gonna say,
Oh.
let's talk about Rook for a second. Rook has continually taken charge of his life. Dude. You know what he did to.
Your mission's not over, though.
The mission's not over. But I'm saying, as far as if I was Rook making this decision, what would he do?
You got another risk it in the chat.
Stop looking at the chat.
I can't look at the chat. I gotta be true.
You gotta be true to yourself, true to your character.
Fuck, dude. I just thought of another thing Rook would do. No! Oh my god, this is so hard! Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Is the mission more important, his driving force? There's that.
You probably wouldn't even get a scar.
Yeah.
Just go down.
Oh, fuck me, man.
I will tell you this: when you do check the chat, I think you're genuinely going to enjoy it.
He's looking. He's
you're looking.
at
Oh,
it.
you're looking. All right. I thought you were gonna avoid the chat, but you can look.
Rook has never been Why are you laughing, Eric?
It's a serious moment.
This is a serious moment. I got options, right? Rook, 1, has taken charge of his life. He's never been a victim, ever. But Rook has a mission as well that he may put first. All right. Let me stop being a fucking.
pacing?
I was about to get up. Yeah. I'm fucking, guys, you don't know what a distress I'm under. All right. This is a big deal.
Just drop to the ground.
Do you want to play it safe?
Well, I'm not. So, like, if I'm a metagamer and we're talking about from a game standpoint, yeah, dropping to the ground is the most thoughtful thing you can do, right? But we're role playing here, baby. What would I do in this moment? You know what I'm saying?
In a lot of respects, imagine standing there in this moment. You've got Corin Vex to your left. You've got a recently defeated foe laying at your feet. You've got another foe staring you down. You know that you're injured. You feel this. And all of a sudden, that move on the part of this Slinth captain almost happened without you seeing it. It ran up behind you and puts its hand on your back. So in that moment, you feel this, the connection of touch. And then it's just like, this rod gets
Risk it all.
rammed in.
Oh my god.
God damn it. If you kill yourself.
After you describing that,
That's what happened.
let's risk it all.
Right? It's sort of like, it came almost like
If I saw him
bolt from the
coming,
blue.
if I saw him coming, it would have been an attack. It would have been a blaze of glory. With me just being there. All right, so risk it all. Let's do the risk. I'm taking all my dice out of the bottom tray.
Why don't you roll yours yourself so that it's not the tower doing your roll, it's you doing the roll?
What if I roll it where we could see it?
Oh no.
That's added a
We can
little
roll it
much.
where you can see it.
Oh my god.
I like that. I think we should
Down
roll it where
the-
you can see it.
Put some pressure on there.
Where's it gonna roll though?
Yeah,
I
you're
would
gonna-
say
you're gonna
in that
hit it.
little
If we
corner.
could do it down that empty one, maybe.
Well, no, over by the guys where they're standing over here, there's a spot on the flat map. So,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, we could do that. Let's just move the entire battle tray
Oh,
towards
no.
the end. So just move that over this way.
All right.
And then turn the table around. I think we can get a spot over here. Oh, maybe this was a bad idea.
Well, it moved it the wrong way.
It
You're
did.
trying to get in that hole.
Yeah,
Slide the map over. There it is.
How's that look?
that's
There
what
it
we want,
is.
There
right
it
there.
is. Get in that spot.
Alright,
It's gonna fall
that's the
off.
spot. Okay, everybody. In a risk it all. First of all, which one is your hope die and which one is your fear die?
Show us.
This guy.
You can't. We
Down-
can't see
down
that.
at the
We
table.
can't see
Down
that.
at the
Down at the
table.
camera.
All right, I have
The
the
light
blue
blue.
for hope and the black for fear.
Oh man.
We all see it.
Roll it.
Can I?
I know.
Roll the dice.
So this
Here we
this
go.
this happens, or can I narrate the preamble?
That's what this is all about.
All right,
of course
so,
you can.
So I feel this thunk go through me. I feel this thunk go through me, and then I kind of like, my eyes go back in my head for a second, then they come up, and I see this figure standing in front of me. And it's got this shadowy face with red eyes and glowing, scary teeth. And then I roll
Oh,
to see what it does.
Roll your dice.
Bun, you did this.
They're on the table.
people are saying they can't watch. If he dies, is Garrett gonna
I'm
spit on
actually
the
watching.
body?
I'm not even watching the table. I'm watching on the camera.
I don't want to watch either.
It's off the
Oh my
table.
god. Okay, but it's cocked.
Wait, don't touch it.
Don't touch
I didn't touch it. I didn't
Can
touch
I
it.
move this
It
one
rolled.
Is
and
it-
show you what it is?
No. We need that.
Okay.
It's cocked.
It's even on the table,
Okay.
but it was cocked for a second. And
All I
then it rolled
gotta
along the line.
say is
What is
the
it?
hope die looks good.
It's a 6.
So it's an 11 to 6 with hope.
So he lives.
You barbarian.
I'm going to.
All right.
I like
so,
that in the chat. I'm still gonna spit on him. Oh,
Rich!
Wait, get the one in the back, get the one in the back.
glass. Oh my god, you're ridiculous.
Jesus, dude.
You're ridiculous.
He's gonna break the set.
it. Just want to lay it on my chair. I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right. How should I move the map back? Is this center the
Oh
thing?
my god.
All right. So the hope die is higher.
I love death moves.
So he's clearing 11? Or the difference?
No, I think it's 11.
If the hope
Only
die
he
is higher,
clears
your
you.
character stays on their feet and clears an amount of hit points or stress equal to the value of the hope die. You have to divide the value between hit points and stress. So first of all, how many
I think
hit
that
points are
clears
marked?
everything.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hit points.
Technically
1,
six.
2, 3,
Six.
4. So 6 and 4.
6,
Just
so
10.
you can clear everything.
Oh my
So you try to take me out, Bun Bun, and you end up helping me.
Bun Bun said,
So
by the way, you're
thank you.
welcome.
That was insane.
Okay, first of all, that was brilliant. That was brilliant. That was a lot of fun.
Can I narrate this?
You may absolutely narrate this, please.
So I'm looking at this face, right? And like the lights are starting to go dim around me, whatever light there was. Your face kind of goes dim. I feel the coldness of that rod inside of me. And I'm focusing on this face. And for a second, I see the face of a tiefling man. Older, regal looking, brown slick back hair. Some sort of mustache with a warm look on his face. And he just leans in close to my face and he, bam, slaps me across the face. I wake up. He's gone. All I hear is, the job ain't done, kid. I'm back awake.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Nicely done. All right, that's going to end
Yeah.
God, I'm
my
stressed.
turn. And I'm going to put it back on you guys really quickly.
All
Can I
right.
spin the thingy?
Yeah, of course.
I just want to see what's
We're
going on.
gonna attack.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna go before that happened. Didn't make an attack in a while.
All right, now.
But if you want a tag team, I'd tag team with you.
That's what I'm
right now.
almost thinking.
I have the hope if you want.
This guy just like busted you the fuck up. I'm thinking maybe we respond.
I think we fucking
We
respond.
respond.
I'll mark the
Even
hope.
though I don't know how I feel about this guy, I still might want to spit on you.
You want to kill me. You don't want someone
afterwards.
else to kill me.
Yeah, exactly. So no, you already spent the hope. I had to spend the hope.
Okay.
You can
only do it once?
Yes, you can only do it once per session.
Cool.
So I'm spending the hope,
Oh, this is great.
and
I'll let you act first, and I'll narrate my react after that.
yeah, I mean, deep down inside, Corrin has an issue with Rook. But seeing him almost go down to the hands of someone else kind of pissed me off just now. That's secretly my kill.
We got a Joker
Maybe.
Batman relationship
Maybe.
right here.
So I'm going to turn around and, spin back on this guy. And we're going at him with the daggers. So
Yeah.
I'm going to swoop in and, I'm going to ambush this dude.
Should I narrate how I
Alright.
help you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you kind of spin around, and I'm gonna say you jam a knife in his back or 2 knives in his back.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be kind of coming at the side, so
Okay.
maybe
And then as you do that, like I feel the rod like retract from my back. I feel rejuvenated as fuck. And then as I kind of hear him wince from getting stabbed, I'm gonna turn around full force and slap him, just like that man slapped me, and yell, "The job ain't done, kid!" And then come down hard, and then hit him with a hand rune.
All right, so we got a hand rune, and then we've got an ambush
dagger.
attack.
Yep, ambush dagger attack.
All right.
All right.
Do we roll with a d6 or no? No, we don't. We just
No,
take the
we
big.
just roll those. Please make it good. What do you got?
Oh, it was really bad.
Oh my god, they're both
Really
bad.
fucking bad,
Both
dude.
bad.
Oh, that was a 9 with hope.
I have a 12 with fear. Neither are gonna hit.
You get to decide which one you
Neither
want.
are gonna hit.
I mean, we're gonna take the 12 with fear.
Are you sure?
If it doesn't hit.
Neither of them hit, so take the one with hope.
Take the one with hope.
Wait. Let me see if there's
Take the one with hope so you can get a hope. Because either way, it goes back to him.
Just choose that.
Oh. Wait.
What?
I can mark a stress to gain a +2 bonus to the action roll's result.
It's not enough.
It'll be a 14 with fear.
Yeah, it's not enough. You need a 15.
It's not enough?
No, you need a 15.
We've established
And the
that?
boss is
Yes.
probably worse.
Okay. We're going to take my 9 with hope.
9 with hope. Okay, so unfortunately that's not going to succeed.
That was devastating.
That sucks.
That's going to throw it back to me. Now, in that moment,
We tried.
We came together.
as you sort of combine efforts in that, the number one, the Slint captain just is able to sort of duck out of the way and evade any kind of contactness whatsoever. And you see the Slint captain turn. He looks at the other Slint that's standing next to both of you. He nods his head and he grabs a hold of his wrist. And on his wrist, he's got a slide controller, and you just see him kind of go like this, and you hear this high-pitched whistle kind of go off. And you all notice the other Slints that are here all turn and look, and they all turn and scatter away from you into the sewers. And so they begin to run. So the two that are up here on this upper tier actually head in that direction as they jump down and in.
Damn.
The two that are over here that are left run in the direction that you sent Fig. And they begin to move.
Do I get a reaction to that?
I would love to have a reaction to that.
That one right in front of myself and Flo, is it going to try and run past us?
It's running backwards. It turns and runs.
Oh. What I wanted to do was, as it turned, lunge forward and try and choke hold it from the front and grab it so that it can't run away.
I think that's perfectly fair. So I would either have you make an agility roll or a strength roll to see if you can try and restrain this.
I'm gonna do strength. Ooh. Yeah, that's only a 9 with fear.
I'm going to take that fear.
Sorry.
And it is able to squirm right out through your grasp and dart down the hallway.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That one, I know they just kind of went down in.
Mm-hmm.
The one that was right in front of Brooke's character on the map, that one was pretty hurt, right?
Yes. Reasonably, yeah.
Reasonably.
If you wanted to, since I'm turning this back to you, you could attempt to make a move on it before it gets away.
It's almost dead. Yeah, but I only have one ranged thing. Do you think it's close enough for me to try and chase it and attack it with my dagger?
Yeah, I think you could.
Okay, all right, then I'll try
because
that.
it's got to make the
It's
descent.
going, so like, as in response, I'm gonna, knowing that one was hurt, I'm gonna try and attack that one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna run after that one and come at it with a dagger. So let's see if I can hit that one. Man, what is with these shit ass rolls? That's only an 11.
With hope. Okay, so unfortunately that's going to miss. As it sort of ducks off the edge of the culvert, you take that swing, and it manages to disappear below you as the dagger swipes right over its head. All right, it's on you guys. Do you want to do anything, or are you going to let him go?
I missed. Technically, it's on you.
Oh, that's true. It is on me. And with that, these all slip off into darkness and vanish. You're left alone.
I think I know which way we should go.
Yes?
Because I sent Big in the middle of all of that.
Ooh. Good bird.
While me and Garrett, or me and Corin are still up top, the guys kind of left. We're kind of up there. And I'm looking at you. We're both kind of looking at each other. And I just kind of like, and then I'm gonna get down and join the rest.
You're just
of the
gonna
party.
nod at me?
I'm just gonna nod at you.
All
Says
right.
1,000 words. And I'm gonna go to the rest of the party.
That was a close one there, Rook. Yeah.
I join the rest of the party.
Okay.
I'm gonna really quickly go to Flo. Are you all right?
Yes.
I know that the combination can be a bit taxing. I wanted to check in on you.
Fine. Thank you.
Good.
I was gonna say that like, you two are broken apart now, right?
Yeah.
We can't do that for too long because our respective power sources don't exactly mesh well.
Yeah.
How are you doing? You good?
Bailiff kind of adjusts the backpack.
Have you put the backpack on?
Oh yeah, I put the backpack on.
Nice.
Is there any type of like, how some of the backpacks have the clips here?
Oh,
Or
yeah,
they're
no,
like,
it has a full-
She's
it's
got
gonna
a strap.
fasten all the straps, and she's like, I'm okay. I'm okay. I know where we should go.
Yeah, well.
Where she might be.
Okay.
And we should go get her.
It's that way.
Let's go.
There's 2 possible right-hand turns, but keep going straight.
Yeah, I say we move quickly. They might be coming back with reinforcements.
Let's go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really quickly.
There's a spider descending the mat.
Mm-hmm.
He's very little, but now he's on the sewers.
I already have an Aether hose in my and its respective backpack in my inventory. Does it look like the one that I have is in worse condition than any of the ones down here?
No, I'd say it's probably about the equivalent of.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I have ideas for it later.
Great. All right. So we're all moving down this culvert pipe
Yeah.
further in.
Yes.
Right. It's only about, it's within 100 feet that you begin to, now, are you still illuminated?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. You can't see otherwise.
So you're walking down this sewer pipe.
Big old target on my head.
over your head. And you begin to sort of come into view of what appear to be 2 more Slinth guards. And they're kind of standing there leaning against the wall. And they seem to be muttering some kind of like low-pitched voice, kind of guttural. And you see them. They appear to have not seen you yet, but they're just standing there. Now, upon closer examination, just as you kind of lean your head, you notice that against this rounded wall here, there's an indentation. They're standing on either side of that indentation. Now, you're too far to the side to recognize whether or not there might be a door there, but it looks like they're guarding the entrance to something.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When we did that entire team attack during the marathon, how do we do that?
So that's a group move. So in a group move, you would decide who would be the best person to pull off the move. Then we would determine what the difficulty was for that move, and everyone will make a roll except the main person. The successes and failures will add a point or subtract a point to the main person's roll, and then we would determine.
I think it'd be wise to all attack at once. Quick, easy, get rid of it.
I agree. I'm gonna hold up my Aether hose.
I think you should.
And I'm gonna look at Vela. You take one and I take the other. This is going to be fun.
So, are you gonna lead the attack?
That depends. What trait is the Aether hose used with? Like, what would I add to this attack?
So that's going to be.
Is there a way to do it quietly?
Okay, so GM's flub here. I did not put that in because I did not anticipate the weapon getting taken.
Used against you.
Right, getting used against me. So,
Sorry about that.
A ruling on that? You guys want to
I
weigh in?
mean,
Would it want to be
Is it a magical
You're gonna
weapon?
pick your best trait. It is a magical weapon.
No, I'm not picking my best trait.
It should be instinct if it's a
Yeah,
magical
I was gonna
weapon.
say you couldn't do
That
it.
makes. That's what I was gonna say. It makes the
See,
most
that is
sense.
my best trait, so I didn't pick it. But
I would like, so if you're using instinct, so I have a 0 to instinct.
I have a
However, I do have an
+2.
idea. I want to really quickly, so I look at the hardware of the Aether Hose and the way that it's all constructed. I have the backpack on at this point, and I am going to look at my left arm and play with some gears and screws and loosen some things to the point where I can loosen 2 plates on my forearm. Hastily remove some of the trigger mechanism and replace it near my left hand. And using my self-tinkered experience,
You can spend a hope.
I am going to mount the Aether Hose on my forearm like a Megatron cannon.
All while you're standing in this space.
Yeah.
All right. Normally, I would probably push that to a downtime activity around a short or a long rest, because that seems like something that might
Could it
take
possibly?
some time.
Could it be like a temporary, like jerry rig?
Sure.
And then
Later you can
later
work on-
I'll work it and perfect the.
I like that better.
All right, so I'll. It's like it's like kind of resting there, and it's a little uneasy for now.
So here's what I'm going to have you do for that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you make a roll of your choice to decide how well that's attached. Then, depending on that roll, we'll determine how it responds when you fire it.
Great.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm gonna do finesse because
I
it
think that
says
works.
tinker right here.
Yep.
That is going to be. Oh wait, that's a crit.
Jesus.
That's double
oh my
nines.
god, it is a crit.
That's a crit.
Mark a hope, clear a stress,
Oh my god.
and that seems to work really well for you. That seems to be attached more than adequately.
More than adequately.
All right.
Really?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. okay.
Before they go off,
Yeah.
is this considered a new scene?
Actually, if you look at my notes and the way I've got it broken down, it is.
So wait, we're doing a team move, right?
So this, it's
we
a,
decided?
Are we doing a team move or are we just doing our own thing?
it's a group move.
Yeah, group move.
Is
And here's the thing, group moves and attacks I haven't done yet. So we would have to come up with a way. I mean, essentially what you're trying to do is pull off a surprise attack where the volley of all of this would happen at once. So you would choose probably the best person to pull off a stealthy attack, and then everyone else would contribute to that. Now, if you succeed, right, first of all, you've got 2 guards down here in a drippy sewer. There's a little bit of noise from the wind and the moaning sound of the sewer itself. So you do have the beacon of hope over here shining his light from his crest. So I think this is going to be the last move of the night. Okay? So make it good.
I'm gonna vote Garrett on. He's an assassin, so quiet attack.
Yeah.
Garrett should lead.
Would we say that Corin goes forward and makes an assassinating strike on one of them, while the 2 of us unload on the other?
Is there something you can add to their thing, like ranged?
I can. I can crack a whip in distraction.
Oh my god.
A distraction is not
Not what
going
we
to be the
want.
type of thing
We
that's
don't
going to
want
succeed
that.
in a.
Then can I run up with Corin and like hit him with a hand, like just like grab one and like hand ruin the other one or something?
Well, I think
don't get in
the
our
spirit of the attack, the spirit of this type of move is this. The leader of this group is going to make the final roll to decide whether or not it succeeds. You can narrate how, each of you can narrate how you help. You can also determine what type of role you make in providing that help, right? So it doesn't have to be, the same roll that Corin's going to make.
Okay, cool. Then I think I would be around the corner of where the guards are, and when Corin goes out to strike, I guess I'll turn the corner and crack my whip at one of them.
Okay. So first of all, that's good.
Okay.
Right? I think what we're going to do here is we're going to set the difficulty on this overall thing. You're a big group of people all rushing in to make the attack at once. So I'm going to set the difficulty a little bit higher. However, if you succeed, I'm going to give you the opportunity to instantly kill both of them. And here's how that's going to work. Number one, you will all utilize the attack roll. We're testing to see if the sneak succeeds. Once it does, you can all make attack rolls. If the total combined damage of all the rolls that hit is higher than 50 points, they both die instantly.
Cool.
I think that's pretty reasonable.
That's fair, yeah.
Okay? And it's because of the nature of the attack. You'd be able to make contact with your weapon in the way that you want to. All right? But first, the sneak has to succeed, the group action has to succeed, and then you all have to roll and add that damage together. Okay? The pressure is on. So you're assisting from a hiding position. How are the rest of you going to assist Corin Vex?
Firing
squad.
Firing squad.
Okay, firing squad.
I'm going to utilize my dual staff to join the firing squad with magic.
Okay, so what kind of roll are you making
Holy
here?
shit.
You making finesse?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, if I'm going to try and sneak up and essentially try and assassinate this guy, that's what I'd be using.
Okay, I'm going to make the difficulty class on this. Chat, should I make this a 15 or a 16?
15. Chat 15.
I
Give
want
us
the
a
chats.
bone.
I want the chats
Give us a
rolling
bone.
here. It's the last roll of the night.
Bun, you tried to kill me.
Give us a bone
Did you
this
see what
time.
Bun said? Ironically, that came from betting that you would die.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I love that.
Wait, Wither and Bloom said 16?
No, Wither and Bloom cannot chat in on this.
Yeah, that's, I like that. That's good.
15.
Of course you
Give
do.
us a bone this time.
Griffin Friend says 16.
No.
Bun Riri says 16.
Of course, Bun Riri said 16.
Oa says 15.
is preying on our downfall.
Oa's goaded.
Coffin Nails is a 16.
Too many 16s.
Yeah, it's gonna be a 16, you guys.
Yeah.
Not enough votes for the 15.
Thank
I
you,
gotta
though,
say.
Oa. We love you.
Difficulty on this is going to be a 16. But remember, if you make it, you really have an opportunity to make this work. Now, if you fail, right? So first of all, you could succeed with hope, or you could succeed with fear. I'm going to say that if you succeed, first of all, if you crit, I'll let you pick 2 people in the party whose rolls crit. How about that? Cool. All right? That's number 1. Number 2, if you succeed with hope, then like I said, you have the opportunity to kill them with 50 points of combined damage or higher.
One tension.
If you succeed with fear, okay, I will still give you the opportunity to take them down with 50 points or higher, but I momentarily get a reaction attack on one of you in that move. Now, of course, failure, we're going to be going into combat, whether or not it's with hope or fear. All right?
Look at the comments. They're arguing with each other.
No. All right,
My
so
light's flashing.
I can spend my assassin experience, correct?
Well, yes, but before you roll,
No, I know they all
have to roll their
Yeah.
assistance rolls. So you can all pick what type of roll you're going to make.
I mean, no matter what,
Are
I'm
we rolling
spending
2
it.
12s?
So I'm doing that.
We're
now.
rolling to hit.
I got a 6 and a
You're not rolling to
9.
hit.
I thought it was
You
a
are
crit.
rolling to decide how your help works. Difficulty class of 16. So you
So
said
we
you were
roll-
doing the
We're firing.
you're the
Yeah.
firing squad,
Yeah.
right?
So we are adding more damage to the one that Corin is not attacking, right?
No, what
But
you're
these are
doing
just
right.
straight up numbers
Hear me
right
out.
now.
Oh.
What you're doing right now is determining how well you help Corin make the sneak attack. This is not an attack roll.
Okay.
You are just contributing to the group ability to make this sneak. The difficulty class on this is a 16. So you're either going to succeed or fail. You can choose which trait you use to roll against. Since you're firing squad, maybe something to do with that.
Yeah.
Might be an instinct roll.
That's
Might
fine.
be.
I have good.
Could I, going off of my use of my self-tinkered experience and the finesse roll, could I make it a finesse roll?
You can make it a finesse roll.
Awesome.
Yes,
I'm gonna
that's
do
up
that.
to you.
Could I spend a hope to add my self-tinkered experience, given the fact that I have just jerry-rigged a cannon under my arm?
You can.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
I have succeeded with hope.
You have succeeded
17
with
with
hope.
17
Oh my
with
god,
hope.
I got
These
a
are
17
not- these
with
are not
hope.
with-
These don't
These
count
don't have hope or fear.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is
They're
just a.
Well, we got the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a success, so that's a +1.
Success.
Success.
Success, that's a +1.
It's only a 13.
That's a -1.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's a success. 21.
21.
Oh,
Huge.
So you're getting +2.
+2 from the group, right?
Yes, +2 from the group.
Wait, it was plus
three.
three.
Plus 3.
3
No,
plus
we have a -1.
We
Oh,
have a
that's
minus
right.
one.
It's 3 minus 1.
Oh.
3 minus 1 is +2.
So, and then I'm gonna spend my experience for
Yes.
assassin.
Yes.
You got this, big dog.
Oh my god, I'm scared.
I can't tell what that laugh is. I think it's good.
No, it's
That laugh
fucking.
is-
It's almost as good as it could be.
Oh.
I'm begging.
27 plus the finesse 30.
Oh my god! Boom! 30 with hope at level 2?
Man,
All right, so
So we get to fire.
the group, with Corin Ventz's assistance, rushes in stealthily, quietly, and unleashes this attack on these 2 Slinth guards. Now, each of you gets to make your attack roll. All right?
so now these are attack rolls.
These are actually attack rolls.
These
now.
are actual
Yes.
attack rolls.
Oh, okay.
Can I use self-tinkered with this attack roll as well? I have one more hope to spend.
If you have the hope to spend, you can do it.
I'm gonna do it.
15 with hope.
Okay, so that's gonna hit. Just hang on for your damage. You are gonna hit. 15 with hope.
18 hope.
18 hope will hit.
Another attack roll?
Attack roll, yeah.
Now we're rolling.
I
The
thought
one
we just
before was
rolled
the
the
stealth
damage.
roll.
Gotcha.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
15 with fear.
15 with fear. I'm gonna take that fear, but that is a successful roll.
13 with hope.
That's a failure, but you can mark your hope.
I had a 15 with hope.
15 with hope. Mark your hope. That's a success.
15.
So the four
We
of
were all
you,
at 15s.
the 4 of you that succeeded. Now I want you to roll damage for that
Okay.
attack.
Can you give me a reaction roll? From the
I
guy comment?
The reaction roll was
It's for my ambush ability.
right.
So your reaction
This
roll.
is one of the best rolls I've
It's
had
a
all
12.
night.
Okay.
It's gonna be 24.
16.
Okay. All right.
That's good,
So
'cause
I
I
don't
picked a
get
bad
to
weapon.
ambush.
A
Pick my
whip.
secondary weapon.
Your whip.
Yeah, I know I did that.
I got us like halfway there, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm missing.
Right, you're missing.
All right.
You're hitting.
Which sucks.
We'll be okay. We're at 35, I think, right now. Me and Olivia.
24.
24,
10.
10, 34.
22.
11.
Yes! We kill them both.
All right, so the group, holy shit, moves in. A flurry of daggers, a volley of arcane energy from the Aether hoses. What were you using?
Dual staff.
The dual
Shoots out.
staff comes shooting out. How are you attacking Rook with
The
both?
whip.
I'm going to grab my whip. It wraps around his arm, and I want to pull him into the dagger.
Ew. Sweet. Ew. It goes from being this silent moment in the sewer to this instantaneous clash of arcane energy and blades flying, and they're dead. They drop into what little water is left in the culvert, and you stand before what appears to be a large door inset into the wall of this. It looks like it is sort of prepared to sort of hold back water. It feels like it's very well sealed. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
She's in there.
What a phenomenal session.
That was really fun.
I had
Yeah.
so much fun.
Wow.
Awesome sauce.
One of the best Daggerheart combats I've been a part of.
That was insane.
I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that.
Every campaign has to have a sewer episode, and this did not disappoint.
I
We
hate
just-
the sewers.
We have so many sewers.
All right.
Big shout out to the chat.
The
this game.
chat
Oh my
tonight
God.
is on fire. You guys are awesome. First of all, I love the Boone and Bane thing. I think that's really contributed to
That
how
added
our
so much.
our community's really playing the game with us. So that's very cool. All right, so next week on Tuesday night, join us 6:30 normal time for the conclusion of A Clockwork Silence. We're going to be doing some giveaways. I'm going to give away some stuff. Like I said before, I've got all these D12s, and I've got some Wither and Bloom stickers, which is, you know, these are kind of nice.
They're kinda nice. Those
we're
are
gonna
awesome.
we're gonna give away some fun stuff next week. Also, for those of you that have won things, like I know that we gave away that building from the train. Once this session has concluded after next week, I will mail all that stuff out. So I haven't gotten to that yet because I need the building, but it will get mailed. You guys, this was really great. You played fabulous.
This was so much fun.
Really well done.
Really awesome.
All right, so that's going to be it for us. Thank you all for watching. Join us next week. Don't forget to subscribe, and we love you guys.
And join the Discord to bet on next week's session.
Yes.
Yes.
To
All right.
affect the finale. Big one.
Good night, everybody. Take care.
Yo.